Nichols, the captain for the night, is applauding. There's a decent turnout from Salford in terms of their usual support with the terrace away to our left, and we get it going forward and away, and straight away, just as they did last time, Salford go for the big punts down the left hand side, and Swindon try and pick this up, and it'll go out of play right in front of the two benches. We're on the same side as the TV cameras. If you're used to seeing highlights in this ground, Salford playing from left to right and launching a massive long throw forward through Minoga. There's a little battle for it, and Mabete with an early clearance away from the edge of the penalty area. Now hooked a little further by Swindon up in the direction of Palmer, but this really is Jonathan, this really is one of those games where it does look like what you're talking about, trying to win that battle in midfield, because that was just super hectic in there.
Yeah, I mean, early on you don't want to make a silly mistake. As Salford are doing there, they're just hooking the ball forward at the moment, trying to jump on those second balls when it lands. So it's important that Swindon, like I said, pre-match, you've got to win that battle, you've got to get on second balls, you've got to win your tackles, especially in these early stages.
So they've got a throw in which McGregor has propelled forward with some energy, not cleared by Burko, and this is played high towards Graydon. Swindon able to clear, but again it's just more frantic heading and chaos in midfield. Drynan's trying to add a bit of presence there. Salford win it, and again they do literally hook it forward. Graydon tries to bring it down, Swindon quickly clear, and this is with Oldacre in midfield, who plays one nice touch then, but he's a little slow on the ball, and Woodburn wins it. Swindon come in, and Nichols snaps in there to try and get it back. McGregor helps him out. Here's Kilkenny floating a ball out to the left. The first real chance for Olakigbe to get possession. Picks it up well on the left hand side, just outside the box, cuts past his man, puts a cross into the penalty area, but the cross doesn't match the build up. It's well beyond Drynan, and it goes behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, promising from Olakigbe, just his final cross a little bit too much on it, but good play from Kilkenny in the middle. It's congested in there at the moment. There's a lot of bodies in that midfield. Kilkenny found himself a bit of space, played a lovely diagonal ball over the top. So yeah, I think that's the key. Can we, while it's really congested in there, can we get it out wide to these boys and get some pace down this side?
0-0 with just a couple of minutes gone, and let's say for all the qualities Swindon have got, they haven't necessarily had a lot of real some express pace, which we think Olakigbe might be able to show.
Yeah, I mean, it's an asset, isn't it? If you've got that pace in behind, it worries defenders at any level, and hopefully can make use of that.
Here's Swindon doing some defending at the back with Tafazoli, another header. Oldacre flicks it on. Ball makes brief contact with turf before Osterfield launches it forward directly, but the flag has gone up there for offside earlier on, and it looks like that will be a Salford free kick, but the ball's not being shown much mercy, is it, Jonathan? I have to say at this stage.
No, and the pitch is lively, isn't it, Andrew? It's it's not an absolute perfect carpet that we probably saw early in the season. It's quite dry. I mean, they were watering it before the game, but no one taking any chances at the moment, just hooking it forward and trying to gain territory in the opposition half.
Well, Mabete does well to head away that free kick, and Palmer's breaking forward here, tries to play in Olakigbe. Minoga gets it, clears from the edge of the penalty area. Swindon snapping in with aggression. Nichols wins not one but two tackles. The ball spins high into the box. The keeper Young's not particularly confident in coming to claim it, with Palmer putting him under some pressure, but he gets there at the second attempt.
Yeah, great tackle from Nichols in the midfield. 50-50. Some people tend to sort of back out of those. He went full-blooded. Just the sort of thing you want from your captain. It almost fell to Palmer, but just landed at the keeper's feet. But great work from Nichols in midfield, although it looks like he's feeling the effects of that tackle.
He is limping a little bit here, so Swindon go long from the back. Palmer's looking to win it, heads it down into midfield. Again, Salford just get it, hook it forward immediately. Tafazoli intelligently plays this to Kirkman. He pops it down the left. Minoga appeals for offside towards the back line, pumped away. Nichols' header is just going to run out towards the left hand side, and Burko and Salford hook it out to the far touchline from Osterfield. Brought down very well by Graydon here on his home debut, darting towards the penalty area on the left hand side, being really hassled and harassed by McGregor, and McGregor claims the moral victory, because in the end Graydon's knocked it behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, we mentioned that boy Graydon. He's quite a positive player, so we'll always look to get at players or play a forward pass, but McGregor dealt with him really well. There was a good battle, but 1-0 to McGregor on that battle.
The Salford formation is the same as we thought. The actual place for some of the players is a little different, and Mai is going to be one of the two strikers rather than out wide. Burko is out on the left hand side of the defence, with Minoga in the middle, and Rosell Ongelo's wide on the right hand side, the former Swindon player. Swindon have possession here, 0-0. Mabete on halfway, hooks the ball forward, it's over the head of Drinan, he'll chase, he'll force Garbutt, the defender, just to turn, just to clear. Salford again look to work it down the left hand side. Mabete comes in to win it on the halfway line, but again it's just launched high and forward into Mai, and that's pretty calm from Tafazoli. Back to Ripley, you can see the ball bobbling on the surface as Ripley clears, and with a bit of breeze in the ground, that goes from Ripley to his opposite number Young. But how tricky does this pitch look, because there are some sort of bare patches. It's not the best we've seen in the division.
Yeah, it's lively. It's where when the ball comes into you can't just play it first time. Sometimes you have to take a touch to make sure you get hold of it. Might be bouncing, bobbling in. I suspect that's why Salford are playing quite direct at the moment. They're just hooking things forward and hoping that they can create something from there.
Here's Olakigbe looking to turn. He's done well to get away from Minoga initially, then checks back very cleverly inside into Oldacre. Olakigbe fouled as he laid off the ball. Kilkenny puts this into a more central position. Nichols here, he's being closed down quickly. McGregor forward. Drinan looked to play a 1-2 there into space, but McGregor kind of didn't respond with the run back, and it's gone out of play for a throw. Drinan conversations with the officials on the far side, but there's a little burst of movement and quality from the Swindon front three. 0-0.
Yeah, all the keepers started well. I like what I've seen so far. 2 positive movements.
Well, here's a ball from Tafazoli just from halfway, from not the best keeper clearance. It was aimed towards Olakigbe, trying to again use that speed, but he couldn't get hold of it.
Yeah, I mean, formation-wise, you've got Palmer down the middle as your front man with Olakigbe and Drinan sort of either side of him at the moment.
Here's Longello on a run forward. He's past one man, he's not past Kirkman, albeit he's won a throw. Longello, who made a good sort of 20-25 yards progress down the right-hand touchline, and we'll see if Salford do consider a long throw in here early into the box. Ben Woodburn does have one of those, isn't it? He's left it for Minoga, who also has one of those. I think he can get quite a sort of flat trajectory, Minoga, on these throws. From what we've seen at the weekend, though, Salford actually take this short and don't really do too much with it at the moment. Minoga, though, able to force another throw in. 0-0 here at the moment. Manchester City away the prize. He lost in Norway in the Champions League this evening to Bodo Glimt. Swindon win a free kick for handball by Enmai. What do you make, Jonathan, this opening sort of few minutes or so?
Yeah, I mean, there's not been any clear-cut chance at the moment. Just looking at the formation that Swindon are playing, Drinan sort of starts on the right, but then drifts in a little bit. Oldacre pushing up to support Palmer. Olakigbe, good start in the midfield, sort of cancelling each other out at the minute. No clear-cut chances, no one wanting to make any mistakes at the moment, which you can gather there's a lot at stake this evening. And this pitch, quite dry, quite tight. And I guess at the moment, can you get it to Olakigbe in behind? He's looking quite pacey, he's looking quite lively. He's the one that's sort of impressed in these first 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, he looks like he's got that sort of bit of potential to unlock things. Here, Salford with a throw inside their own half, hurled forward by Minoga. Swindon get it clear via Tafazoli. They're looking to find Palmer and Oldacre in that frantic midfield, and a foul is given against Kilkenny for a slightly too high foot there. He's caught Ben Woodburn just on the halfway line, and so that will be a free kick to Salford here. 0-0. We're on BBC Radio Wiltshire and on BBC Sounds tonight. If you want to hear all of Swindon's pre-match news conferences and interviews, search for Swindon Town on BBC Sounds. You can follow us there, and then you'll get notifications as soon as they arrive if you switch them on. Here is Salford with the free kick. It's aimed up towards Enmai on the edge of the box. Kirkman makes sure it doesn't arrive for him. Olakigbe's looking to attack from deep. Tries to play a 1-2 with Palmer. Salford quickly dispossess them. Graydon on the edge of the box. Tried to find Enmai. Woodburn's made a little bit of space for himself with some skill. Longello just outside the penalty area. Looks up, crosses into the near post area, and it's headed away well by Swindon. But I think there's also a free kick in their favour there. But that was the first sort of real bit of quality from Salford, who put a dangerous ball into the box, and I think Tafazoli has got caught heading that away.
He's done well, Tafazoli. He's done really well, because it's not a high cross that's got whipped in. It's quite low, and Tafazoli's gone with his head. The Salford player's gone with his foot. Tafazoli's put his head in there. He knows he's probably going to get caught, and he's took it really well. Got himself a foul for the team and stopped. I think it might have been Graydon trying to get a foot to it. So really good defending there from Tafazoli.
But there was a bit of danger from Salford, the way Woodburn sort of worked the ball around and the quality of the cross as well.
Yeah, I think Woodburn and Graydon are useful players at this level, very useful players, and Nye as well is looking quite lively. They've got players that need to be watched and making good runs. They're lively, they're young, they're fit. Swindon, do need to be on guard with that.
And there's a header clear from Burko at the back, and Salford win this in midfield, and Woodburn looks to quickly manoeuvre it out towards Longello on the left hand side. Swindon intercept. Kirkman tries to float it forward early for Palmer, and again it bounces through to the goalkeeper. Palmer just a little bit frustrated, but he does give Kirkman a thumbs up for the intention, at least, as Mabete gets another goalkeeper clearance safely headed away. Here's Garbutt in midfield, again being hassled quite effectively by Swindon, but manages to scoop it forward. Osterfield is breaking forward with a bit of pace. He's got support down the left, picks up Burko. He crosses first time into the back post, and there's a header back across goal and in to put Salford in front by a goal to nil, and Ryan Graydon scoring. Another well-worked move from Salford, and again they open the scoring early against Swindon through Graydon's looping header. Salford 1, Swindon 0.
Yeah, I mean, he seemed to take an age to go into the net from his head. He sort of looped into the far corner. I mean, the disappointing from a Swindon point of view is, one, it's a really easy cross coming in. I mean, McGregor's out there, just allowed to put a cross in. And, we talked about Ryan Graydon before the game. No one's marking him. He's 6 yards out, and he's got a free header. He's not a powerful header, and he's just directed it straight in. Got to be marked up. Got to be stopping crosses easier. It's disappointing, but we've got to try and regroup here. First blow to Salford.
Yep, and like I say, you could kind of see the danger from quite a long way out. The cross came in, and Graydon was in space at the back post. It's a curious header because it looped up and eventually just dropped in well past Ripley, who was left stranded. So Salford one up here, and Swindon tried to respond by playing the ball forward up to the edge of the home side's box and getting a throw in. Here's Kirkman out to Olakigbe, but he's being quickly hassled here, works this into midfield. Nichols back to Mabete, and he decides the safest place to return it is all the way to Ripley. Well, they spent a fairly healthy chunk of change, Salford, on Ryan Graydon from Fleetwood, and he's already popped up with an assist on Saturday, and now a goal here. Salford go back to the goalkeeper Young. They boom it forward. Burko's looking quick, and McGregor's alert though, is able to not just hook it away but find Drinan in space. Swindon trying to attack through the middle. It's won initially by Nichols. Kilkenny has it, in the end it ricochets away off for a throw. Salford leading 1-0.
Yeah, they're making it difficult for Salford. They're closing down really intently, not giving Swindon any time on the ball at the moment. So when Swindon do go long, you don't really want to be going long central to Palmer unless you're playing it into his feet. You've got to go wide where the pace is and the power and the running areas are. Hopefully, Okabe here with a bit of pace and a bit of magic can do something to try and get Swindon back into this game.
Swindon have possession here, and it is with Olakigbe out on this left-hand side, but Salford looking quite a compact unit behind the ball. Kilkenny has it here, and it goes back towards Tafazoli. He scoops it forward. Kirkman will try and chase. Manoga just calmly pops that back to the goalkeeper Young, who gets it out. Tafazoli looks to win it on halfway, does so, feeds in Olakigbe here on the left hand side. Nice touch, gives him a little bit of time. Pinged into the feet of Palmer. Palmer just holds it up calmly. Darren Oldacre nearly has to push the referee out the way to receive the pass, but gets it. And again he's just sort of standing up, manoeuvring carefully, Oldacre, and they're sort of passing. Swindon can't find those sort of passing routes through Salford at the moment.
Yeah, Salford making it difficult. They're closing down really well at the moment, to be fair. They're making it really difficult for Swindon.
This it's a long ball cleared as far as Palmer. Takes it out to Drinan on the edge of the box. He shoots, tries to curl it into the top corner, and it's well wide from 20 yards or so.
Yeah, decent hold up play from Palmer. But yeah, they're making it difficult. They're closing down. The ball might be, when they're closing us down that tightly in midfield and in defence, can you flick it over the top to Olakigbe and push up the pitch from there? Because he looks like that he's got the pace to stretch it, and Drinan on the other side. But yeah, Salford, we talked about that midfield battle. I feel like they're getting on top a little bit in there at the moment. They're first to the ball, they're busy, they're closing down. And Swindon going to try and compete with that best he can.
So Salford leading 1-0 through Graydon's header. Tafazoli wins the latest goalkeeper clearance. Drynan can't get hold of it on that left, and Garbett back to the goalkeeper Young, who looks particularly thrilled with the ball at his feet on this surface at the moment. Here's Burko trying to turn on the left, look to get a quick ball forward. Kilkenny with an important tackle. Ricochets to Ola Kigbe, finds Kirkman neatly on the left hand side. He tries to float it forward, it's beyond Oldacre. Goes back to Longello and the goalkeeper again. So Salford leading 1-0 here. And Young clears at the second time of asking. Nichols will try and get in there and win it. Gets there ahead of Mai. Nichols on halfway, rolls the ball forward. Ola Kigbe's got good pace to pick this up. Down by the corner flag, tries to take it away from Minoga. Minoga does well. Kind of reads what's coming. Ola Kigbe with a little drag back, but he's dragged it out of play. Salford get a throw in down in front of pretty much of where we are. Our sort of commentary position is sort of near the half that Swindon are attacking at the moment. 15 minutes gone. Salford leading 1-0 through Graydon's looping header. Throw from Minoga again down the right hand side. More heading to do. Nichols gets it, scoops it forward, but Palmer's run to goal is just cleverly blocked off by Turton. Goalkeeper's out deep in the right back position to make this clearance, and he's launched it forward, and Swindon might be in trouble there. Burko nearly got hold of it. McGregor eventually was able to deal with it. Swindon desperate to sort of just get hold of it in that middle area, and once more Salford have won it. Burko trying to attack down the left hand side again, laid off to Unmai. He's past one man just outside the penalty area, back to Burko, looks to float another cross in, that's blocked. Salford get a corner.
Yeah, better defending from that side though, stopping the cross, making it difficult. Salford do look lively when they get towards that 18-yard box, and Graydon and Mai, they've got some decent attacking players, so Swindon have got to work hard at stopping shots, stopping crosses, because if this goes to 2-0, it's going to be a long way back.
Well, Woodburn, who does have quality, we mentioned at the weekend, he started at Liverpool and did get into their team as a teenager for a spell before kind of drifting down the leagues, playing for Wales before he was 18. So Woodburn's going to take the corner. Salford loading up players at the back post. Turton is in there, one of the weekend scorers. Now they make the run to the near post, flick down dangerously and bounces behind for another corner. I think it might have been Graydon who got across his man and got the header on target.
He's Graydon, he's busy his game, it's his home debut, needs to be marked tight. It looked like that was a free header there. It looks like Mabete marking him, needs to really get tight because Graydon clearly fancies this.
Mabete was with him on the edge of the penalty area. Still more movement into that near post area. Woodburn fires in the corner again. Swindon don't deal with it particularly well, but they get it away via Oldacre. Now it's chipped back into the box, hopefully by Mai, and Swindon can get it to Ripley, who tries to go for one of those massive bowl outs, and Mai wins it. Salford look to poke this forward down the right hand side through Butcher, and Swindon clear it out of the ground, which doesn't necessarily take that much effort because we're in a stand that has 6 rows of seats, but Salford again quite aggressive, quite effective, and they lead 1-0.
Yeah, they're up for it. They're obviously a team that's in form, clearly fancy this game tonight. It started really well. Swindon just need to steady the ship a bit. You mentioned there, Andrew, they've not really had any sort of possession at the moment, little bits here and there, but no sustained pressure or able to create any chances at the moment, and it's been a difficult start to the game.
Not lost in 8, Salford. Here's Minoga with a big long throw into the penalty area, but that is going to bounce past everyone, and Ripley can take it up and challenge it. Yeah, it just felt like Ripley, with that long throw, was almost trying to add some sort of tempo and urgency a bit to the performance.
Yeah, and trying to catch Salford out a little bit, do something a little bit different.
Good flick on from Palmer, and here's Ola Kigbe trying to pick it up, and he lobs the keeper, but it's onto the roof of the net. It was a knockdown from Palmer. Drynan fed him in, and Ola Kigbe tried the first time effort.
Yeah, it's a really good run for Ola Kigbe. I mean, he's playing on this left-hand side. He's just a long ball forward. It's nothing fancy at all. It's one flick and Ola Kigbe's in. It's he's made a run from left to right, and just a little bit too much on the lob, but a little bit better that.
But yeah, quite a direct play. Palmer winning the aerial ball from the clearance, and Drynan was able to flick it on. And Ola Kigbe tried to surprise the goalkeeper Young. It never quite looked like it was going to dip in time, but I'm not sure the keeper would have been able to readjust if that had been on target.
No, it would have been a really good finish. The idea was right, the lob was on, just a little bit too much on it, but promising from Olakipe again.
Salford boom a long ball forward via Minoga. McGregor comes across to clear. Mabete has gone down here. I think he's fallen awkwardly trying to win a header, so that is going to be a break in play. Coming up to the 20-minute mark, and quite quickly the physio is on here to offer Mabete some treatment. Salford leading by a goal to nil through Graydon's header. That Olakipe chance, the best that Swindon have had in the last few moments in the Champions League earlier. Manchester City lost 3-1 at Bodo Glimt. Well, how relevant will we feel that is at 9:30 or 10 o'clock? We will see. Also tonight, Inter against Arsenal and Spurs against Dortmund in the 8 o'clock kickoffs. But they've got to just sort of find a little way here, Swindon, to kind of regroup and get a bit more of impact, I suppose, towards that Salford goal.
Yeah, it's trying to get the control, isn't it? It's all a little bit hopeful at the moment in terms of the balls forward, hoping, with the chance that Olakipe had, it was just a long ball forward. It wasn't fancy. They haven't really had the control in the Salford half. Salford have definitely edged this first 20 minutes, but I think Holloway talking to his players now, trying to get some messages across, see if he can find some improvement going into this sort of second bit of this first half.
And this is a bit concerning because Mabete is still not up yet. You can see him sort of lying on the ground. He's clearly conscious and moving. You can see his arms going, but he hasn't been able to get to his feet for the time being. So there's quite a kind of extended discussion here among the Swindon players and management, firstly about how they try and improve things. You can see Ryan Tafazoli in the middle of discussions there, but this is a bit concerning, Jonathan. I wonder if they are going to be forced into an early sub. Will Wright was just sent out to warm up, but he's giving his calves a good stretch in the cold night air.
Yeah, I mean he's not got up. I wasn't sure if he was holding his face, but it doesn't look good. Although the substitutes don't seem to be any rush in terms of getting the tracksuit bottoms are all really covered up on this cold night, like you say. Doesn't seem to be any major rush with that, but it doesn't look good from a Swindon point of view, this.
No, Mabete is still down at the moment, being attended to by two of the medical staff. I think it's quite difficult to diagnose what happened, because he just seemed to go down a little bit after, I think, aerial chance. I must admit, I don't know if he's got a bang in the face or whether he's just fallen awkwardly and worried that he's twisted something, but he's getting some sort of treatment at the moment, and it's suspecting the stretcher might be coming on here fairly soon, because they're taking considerable care, I think at the moment, in not moving.
Yeah, I mean,
Mabete.
One thing we would say is Swindon have got well-stocked bench in that position. James Ball can play there. Obviously we've got Will Wright. Looks like they might have called Will Wright over, because I mean he's just not moved, has he? He's clearly going to have to come off.
Yeah, so I wonder if they're just going to make absolutely sure that every safety measure is taken, but you do wonder if the stretcher might be about to come on here. It's BBC Radio Wiltshire, Salford leading 1-0 through Ryan Graydon's header, but we have got what's looking like an increasingly extensive break in play because of this injury to Phil Mabete, and yet Will Wright is going to be brought on. So Swindon will be forced into a early substitution here, and we'll just hope that it's nothing too serious going on with Mabete. You've seen him a little bit, Jonathan. He's come out fresh from the kind of Wolves Academy. He's got quite an infectious personality, and for a player with no senior experience, he's done pretty well for Swindon when he's been involved.
Yeah, from what I've seen of him, he sort of plays with almost like a laid-back style. He seems quite a calming influence back there, makes good decisions. He's been impressive since he's played, since he's arrived. Sorry, and this would be a bit of a loss to lose him. But really interesting to see what he's done, because I'm like you, Andrew. I just didn't see anything happen. It was almost like it. At first I just thought he took a little bit of a bang from the striker, and he was just get up and shake it off. But he's led on his back. He's not sat up yet, which doesn't look good.
No, so Will Wright's going to come on in due course. In the meantime, Ian Holloway is just having a bit of a chat with Darren Oldacre about some kind of tactical instruction, what he can do to get a little bit more involved in the game. The referee is checking with Mabete, who's still on the ground at the moment. A few of the Swindon players have kind of just gone across checking him, and here's some good news, he is sitting up already, so that is a first bit of encouragement, but I can't say he looks in great shape. Graydon is coming over to ask how he is, so but, I must admit, we're obviously no medical experts, Jonathan, but I'm very happy to see him sit up at least.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they're checking his eyes. Looks like they're sort of looking into his eyes at the moment. I don't know if it's like a concussion protocol that they're doing at the moment to test that if he has took a bang to the head, then is he safe to play on? What is the diagnosis? Is it that he does need to come off? I presume they'll go with the safe option and bring him off, especially with the options that we've got. Because it does seem like he's been down now for a good few minutes. Going back to the tactical stuff, I mean, Ian Holloway talking to Oldacre there. Oldacre's found it difficult to get in the game so far. I mean, it's really congesting that midfield, and whether Ian Holloway's looking at tweaking that a little bit, because Oldacre's the type of player he thrives on a bit of space, getting on the half turn and creating stuff, and he doesn't look like there's the room in there at the moment, so that might be just a tweak that Ian Holloway looks at to try and get him more in the game.
So excellent news. I'm pleased to say that Phil Mbete is making his way off the pitch under his own steam here, so he's walking to the sidelines, which is good news to start. Whether he'll be able to continue or not is open to question. Swindon is still kind of looking round on the bench. Should Will Wright come on, but for a little while they will be down to 10 men here, and play I think is going to be resumed with a drop ball after all that, because given it did look to be some sort of head issue, played quickly, and Salford have possession back on the halfway line. So we're back underway with Salford leading by a goal to nil. Garbutt's trying to come through the middle. Swindon just sort of sitting in a defensive shape here, a man down just for a few seconds, of course, while they consider what happens with Mbete. Here's Manoga, and further chance for Longello to attack down the left. Salford try a little triangular passes, that's half cleared. Woodburn gets it back, he's showing some good flicks and touches. Salford keep hold of it, but they have to go across the pitch back on the halfway line with the centre half Garbutt. They look for a quick ball out to Longello on the left, laid off neatly to Woodburn, a few yards outside the penalty area, finds Longello further down the touchline. Longello crosses in with his left foot deep from a wide angle. Swindon able to head that cross into the box clear, though. For the moment they're still down to 10 for the time being. Mbete is making his way down the tunnel, I think that looks like, so I don't think he will be continuing, but Swindon need a break in play here to be able to get Will Wright on, and Salford might be about to provide that, although that ball they bent down the right hand side has not gone out of play. Woodburn's picked it up. Woodburn gets to the byline, crosses into the penalty area. Ripley can come and take, and he tries to slow the game down. 1-0 Salford.
Yeah, it looks like the change is going to be made. I think they need to make it sooner rather than later. Like, make the decision, get Will Wright on, a more than capable replacement. Disappointing to lose Mbete, but it seems to be taking a bit of time here to get this change done.
Swindon just play it long, and some good pressure from Palmer, chasing after a loose ball, forcing Turton to clear it out. So now the change can be made. Mbete off then, but like I say, he did walk down the tunnel unaided. So Wright comes on to go into central defence to replace Mbete. Swindon having to use up one of their substitutions early. And well, maybe they've got a chance to actually involve Wright immediately here, because with this throw-in that Palmer won through nothing but persistence, they have a throw-in that is only about 15 yards out from the Salford goal. Kirkman is forward, Drinan and Palmer are lurking inside the box. Kirkman's trying to be a nuisance in and around the near post area. Throw comes in, Tafazoli gets a useful flick on. Salford don't do a great job of clearing it. Drinan has it, very congested on the left side of the box. It's being dealt with effectively by Manoga, but turns and is able to win Swindon a corner.
Yeah, good play from Drinan, keeping that alive. The long throw went in. It does cause a bit of chaos, and on a night like this, when the pitch isn't great, it's a little bit bobbly, get the ball in the box and see what happens. That's what Will Wright did. He's coming over to take the corner now.
Swindon have done very little of that, getting the ball inside this Salford penalty area. So Wright to take. There's 5 for Swindon inside that 6-yard area. Tafazoli lurks at the back post. Like I said, the Salford back three are not the biggest, and Tafazoli has a physical advantage on Turton. The ball's low into the near post from Wright. It's not a great one, and it's thumped into the side netting there by Kilkenny, I think that was, or maybe Kirkman, who caught it. and Salford have just pumped this straight down the other end, and Oldacre's having a bit of trouble dealing with it, and Mize got it out on the left hand side. McGregor has at least pushed him wide, and that I think goes out of play in the end. But I just thought for a second I saw ball leave foot at pace and it ripple net, but it was the outside of the net.
Kilkenny hit it really well. I mean, 12 yards out on the angle, it sort of landed to him. Fortunately, he struck it really well. I guess if that was on target, the keeper would be struggling to save it, but into the side netting. But two set pieces caused a little bit of carnage there, and that's what Swindon need to do. Like, get the ball in the Salford box and see if they can make this Salford defence defend, because they haven't really had to do much of that so far.
Swindon do have, it looks like physically, a little bit of an aerial advantage here. Not Salford are the smallest side, but there's Burko trying to bring it forward, and Salford play this up towards the edge of the penalty area. Tafazoli, not the best first touch, but he's able to clear. This is with Woodburn. McGregor's able to flick it away about 20 yards out. Might run in towards Palmer, but just tied it up by Butcher. And Salford with some intricate patterns looking to attack down the left hand side, and Myers got there again. McGregor's trying not to let him go, and Mike turns past two, and then he's tripped just outside the penalty area fairly recklessly by Wright, who I think he may well get a booking.
And Myers causing all sorts of problems down that left hand side. He set up the first goal, he's lively, he's got skills, he's turning people inside out, and right on the edge of the box he's been caught there. It's a rash tackle, an inch further to the right there, and that's a penalty. He's one that definitely got to get tight to. He's causing a lot of problems down that left hand side.
I think Wright has actually escaped a booking. Garbett is standing over this with the left foot, so it's towards the left corner of the box. It's not impossible he could go for goal, but he can certainly bend it into a very dangerous area to attack, though. Wouldn't completely rule out Woodburn having a crack with the right foot either here. So Woodburn shows some interest, but it's going to be left for Garbett. Curls it into the near post area, comes off the Swindon ball, it's behind. It's a Salford corner. They lead 1-0, and I think, if we're honest, they're good value for their lead.
They are. They've come out and had a right go at Swindon. They pressed, they'd harried, and they've had some quality as well. They've got some quality plays in that forward area. Nye showing a lot of skill, Graining with his goal. They've certainly edged this first half.
And Swindon with another corner to defend. So Woodburn's been putting good quality on these from the left hand side, fizzed into that near post area, but headed well behind by Minoga there, who got in at the near post, made contact, but that was well off target.
Yeah, I feel like we're a little bit jaded at the moment, a little bit sluggish. Just not really got that intensity going at the moment. A few sloppy passes have we just seen there.
Crossfield ball from Wright, that's intercepted. Well won by Graydon. Back to Minoga, who's coming forward now on the right hand side with a good turn of pace. The Tanzania international. Swindon clear the ball that drops inside the box, out towards Longello. He wins the throw in, and Swindon are penned in on this right hand side, trailing by a goal to nil. So they've had the shot from Kilkenny into the side netting, Ola Kigbe's lob, but so that just really came from one set piece and one long ball at the moment. Turton is up to add some extra bodies in the box for Salford from the long throw, which Minoga's going to hurl in from the right hand side. Swindon win it and clear it with a bit of confidence, and up towards Drynan, who just lays that off to Oldacre. Oldacre's in space here, and he just kind of the ball gets away from him very easily. He kind of felt like he was doing all the thinking and forgetting about the actual carrying of the ball. Swindon clear long from another Salford high ball, volleyed away by Turton before Palmer can get there. Nichols has it in midfield now with Kilkenny, and Kilkenny turns it. He can't find Kirkman on the left hand side, and Kirkman fouls his former teammate Longello. Salford try and take it quickly, and they have done so with sufficient skill that it comes off Kirkman and earns the left back a booking.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where Kirkman has committed the foul. He's stood in front of the ball. Once Salford's players just booted it straight at him, the refs decided to put Kirkman. It's a scrappy one, but Swindon just really sloppy again there in midfield. Kilkenny with a really simple pass. They're struggling to get to grips with the pitch at the moment. It's lively, it's bobbly. Salford definitely handling that better.
Here's Longello coming forward, and he's tripped by Kilkenny this time, and they are wobbling here, Swindon. They need to just try and find a way to duck and weave through these next few minutes and sort things out a little bit. So Salford with a free kick about 8 or 10 yards outside the box. Butcher could take this, Woodburn could curl it in as well. Some defending on the edge of their own penalty area as Woodburn clips that into the back post. It's just over the head of Minoga, who made a good run in behind the Swindon defence, and Burko at the back. A couple of bounces behind goal kick, but that looked a threatening ball.
Really good ball, and more of the worry for me was the Salford players going in there unmarked. If the ball was a little bit lower, there's players there with free headers. Just think we need something here to spark us into life a little bit, whether it's a chance, a shot, a tackle, just something to give us a bit of life, a bit of energy. It just seems a little bit flat from a Swindon point of view at the moment, and that's worrying, because if Salford can smell a little bit of blood here and get that second goal, then it's going to be really difficult to get back in this game.
It's going to look like they're a bit like a bucket of sand, really. Salford have just kind of put the fire out.
Just quiet as well, Andrew. Look, the sort of everyone's sort of looking at each other in a minute on the Swindon team and thinking, come on lads, and they're just struggling to lift themselves, struggling to get up for this game, which is really surprising. But what we don't want to do is go 2 down, because then the chance is pretty much over. You're in there's a big comeback from there. You've got to try and stay in this game and get some sort of grip on it.
Swindon with a ball forward here from McGregor from the back, finds Palmer. He's having his shirt wrestled up by Turton. Picks out Kilkenny, who's in that left back position, and Kilkenny in the end can't see a forward pass, and it goes back towards Ripley, who's been closed down by Graydon but can clear out to the right, and it's over the head of McGregor, and that's pretty symbolic. They can't find that sort of forward ball, that aggressive ball, that ball that can put Salford under pressure. Salford leading 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Ian Hall is going to have to maybe try and change something, whether he leaves it till half time, because at the moment it's just not any sort of rhythm, any sort of attacking intent at the moment. It looks just like Salford are coming at Swindon, and they're the ones that are looking like they could get the next goal.
Yep, and Mai tries to come forward, but he's robbed by Swindon. McGregor does well to Oldacre. Now, a kick base in space, might find the pass, and Oldacre was tackled as he released the ball by Woodburn. Referee gives it as a free kick. In the sense that was a pretty important free kick from Woodburn, because if Oldacre had just that extra second to release Ola Kigbay, he was in a really good position.
Yeah, I mean, Ola Kigbay first sort of 5-10 minutes really lively. He's just not seen any of the ball since, and that was an opportunity there, but probably a good foul there from a Salford point of view, because he could have got the ball to all, keeping a little bit of space, because that's what you're looking for, because he just gone sort of 15-20 minutes without really seeing it.
So Swindon with this set piece, it's on the edge of the centre circle, it's pretty central. Wright chips it forward. Tafazoli tries to hit it on towards goal, clearing it back into the Salford midfield, and Burko has it on the left and finally plays this forward, and McGregor does quite a good job to stop and Mai chasing after it. And right back to the goalkeeper. Swindon trailing 1-0 here through Graydon's looping header. Ripley again fires the ball down the middle. Minoga can clear it. Swindon try and win it in the centre. Nichols manages to conjure up a free kick off Woodburn there. And another set piece, but in a sort of central position here. Can they do something a bit more than just chip this forward and fight for it? Or maybe they think that's where they've got the edge.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of them, you play it short on a bobbly pitch. I think it's almost like, let's try and get some territory, keep it in play, win a couple of corners or throw-ins and build some pressure somehow, because from a passing point of view we're struggling to do that. So like say, Andrew, maybe try and get it forward, jump on second balls, try and get a corner, a set piece, and try and build something.
Wright has this. Salford defending about 25 yards out from goal, scooped up by Wright. Is he trying to lob the goalkeeper? I would assume so, because Young has to scramble back, but the ball lands in the fans in the terrace behind the goal. But I do not believe that Wright would have overhit it by that intention. I think he's trying to catch the keeper out there.
Yeah, I mean, very, very ambitious effort from Will Wright, and all the other Swindon players sort of looking at him with a bit of disbelief, really. But if it comes off, you're a hero, aren't you? But yeah, a little bit ambitious from that distance to score.
6 minutes to go before half time. Salford with the 1-0 lead. Tafazoli looks to work this forward, won't reach Stein on the right. Instead comes to Burko and back to the experienced Garbutt. Osterfield getting involved as well, and Salford just keeping this inside the Swindon half. Butcher with a ball that invites Enmai to chase. Wright has to turn, clears, finds McGregor. McGregor's dispossessed. Salford look to attack down the left with Burko, but he can't get forward. Nichols comes and counters, gets past a couple of men there, rolls the ball in towards Palmer, who's being defended vigorously. Swindon have this in midfield through Kilkenny, pokes it out towards Kirkman on the left. Kirkman to Oldacre. Oldacre tried to lay it off to Kirkman. Kirkman looked to win it. He's fouled by Minoga this time. So Swindon get another free kick on the halfway line.
Yeah, I mean, Swindon fans hearing the voices there, trying to get them going, trying to even just a little bit of encouragement. There was a ball into Palmer who got hold of it. Just trying to build something. Just trying to work really hard here just to get a couple of passes in to get things going. It's been a difficult, but here goes Ola keeper, try and create something.
Yeah, they've just given it to him on the left and see what you can do. He gets away from Longello, and I think Longello's got the touch on that, and it's gone behind, and it is a Swindon corner despite the protests. Not sure what the protests are about. That looked a pretty clear corner to me.
Yeah, for me it's either a corner or a foul, because I'm not even sure the fullback got the ball there. But this is an opportunity now. You've got Palmer, Tafazoli in there, players to hit. Can we make something of this?
There's a massive number of people inside that 6-yard box here. Wright delivers the corner in from the left-hand side. Keeper Young comes, makes the important flap away, as it were. Flap doesn't do it disservice. It was solid contact with the hand. Salford look for the quick counter up towards Enmai. He tries to volley it towards goal for the on-rushing Graydon. Swindon will just about keep hold of this in midfield. Kilkenny gets it, drives forward with some purpose. He's tripped by Woodburn. Woodburn's committed about 3 fouls. No, that's given. That's play on. Ball's out to the left. Everyone was waiting for the foul, Ian Holloway included, and Kirkman's put it down the left and out of play.
Maybe that's what's needed, though, a little bit of tempo. Kilkenny taking a couple of players on, getting the crowd going. A big following from Swindon. They've not had anything to cheer so far. It's just someone's got to do something just to raise it a little bit. Kilkenny tried it there. Looked like it was a foul to me. Wasn't given. Bench not happy, but positive play from Kilkenny in the middle of the pitch.
Well, this is better, but better from a very sort of anemic base, as it were. Swindon desperate to win this latest scrap in midfield. Osterfield down the left. Wright barges into Enmai effectively, slows him down. Osterfield wins it. Nichols intercepts his pass, breaks out to Osterfield on the left, but he's dribbled it out of play. So Swindon get the throw, but they still can't really do a bit better. But it's still a desperate struggle, to say, Jonathan, to get some sort of coherent passing going in midfield.
Yeah, I'll be brutally honest, it's been really, really poor first half, this from a Swindon point of view. I think they're looking to be 1-0 down, just in terms of the energy and the way they've played this game. It just feels a little bit slow, a little bit tentative. We've been bullied in a lot of areas. Need a big improvement here.
Kirkman hustled very effectively by Longello here, although Kirkman wins a throw on the south-hand side. It's Enmai actually is out on the right-hand side here. He's popped up in a slightly different role. Salford leading by Graydon's header. Swindon with this throw-in. Just up on halfway. Kirkman keeps sort of looking around like a meerkat to see what options he's got. To Palmer, flicks it on. Oldacre tries to hold it. Breaks to Palmer just outside the box, and he claims he's fouled there. No sympathy from the Salford fans, as you would expect. Kilkenny trying to keep this on the left-hand side. It goes out of play for a Salford throw, and they're all high tempo. Graydon chases after it on the near touchline. Wright scrambles in, wins it in a slide tackle. Swindon will try and defend here. Wright has to launch another ball away to halfway, and Salford are just all over them.
They're just more aggressive, Andrew. They're more aggressive. They're front-footed. Zalombo went forward before, and Tafazoli is 6'4", 6'5", just got eased off it by Graydon. In all areas, they've just not been. They've not been at it. They've not been up for the game. There just needs to be a big energy turn here, and for Swindon to get back into this game because it's just slow and sluggish.
Salford crossing deep into the box on the left-hand side. McGregor's won the clearing header away and eventually gets it clear under pressure from Burko, but has to put it out for a throw on the far touchline. We're coming up to stoppage time at the end of this first half here on BBC Radio Wiltshire and BBC Sounds. Get your texts in if you want, 81333, put Wilts in front of those, and you may need to use the star key for some of your more blunt opinions, I suspect, on this first 45 minutes. Salford then chucking another big throw into the Swindon box. Tafazoli and Drynan between them head that away. We have 8 minutes of first half stoppage time following that injury to Mabete. It's back on halfway towards the Swindon goal from Salford. It runs all the way through the turret plate. In the Champions League, Arsenal lead 1-0 Inter, and Spurs are ahead at home to Dortmund by a 1-0. Here is Swindon pushing forward with Nichols. Purposeful drive towards the edge of the box. Finds Oldacre just outside the penalty area. Shoots left-footed. Keeper has to fist it away. It was straight at him, but he forced a save out of him. Salford scramble it clear despite Nichols' best efforts from the edge of the penalty area here. On a kick base dealt with well by Longello. Kilkenny wins this back on the left-hand side. Kilkenny out to Ola Kigbe, looking to take on Longello, moves in, cuts back on his right foot, the cross is overhit though, and behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, just can't quite find his range on those crosses at the moment. Once or twice now, the keeper just putting, way too much on those crosses. But great strike from Oldacre on his left foot there, just a little bit straight, but good power and a little bit better. You can see Kilkenny's really trying, and they're really trying to get things going. It's just not really happening for them at the moment.
Last time Michael Ola Kigbe was here with Chesterfield last season, they won 4-0. You would certainly plead for a bit more of that influence to come to bear. Manoga clears and McGregor has to head it away in the right back position. Longello, a loose pass, just finds Oldacre. Oldacre in midfield, clever reverse ball to Palmer. There's only Drynan inside the box. Palmer outside the penalty area, left hand side, tries to cross it in, and Longello is able to let that bounce away and go out of play for a goal kick. And I think Palmer is a bit unlucky because there were a couple of deflections there, but despite his protest to the referee, I'm not surprised to see that as a goal kick. 1-0 Salford.
Yeah, it's been a frustrating one so far for Palmer. He's not really had anything to go at in terms of chances or shots or any decent sort of service into him. And when it has come into him like that, it's just not quite worked, and bounced off him there for a goal kick. He's venting his frustrations at the referee as we speak.
Well, maybe that'll help him feel better. Salford leading 1-0. He hasn't had a chance on goal yet tonight, Palmer. Here's Longello attacking on the left. Kilkenny forces him out wide, but Salford will get the throw in here. Let's say unbeaten in 8. I've already completed a league double over Swindon. And I don't know, Jonathan, do you sometimes wonder that teams just have that sort of kryptonite on you from time to time?
Feels a little bit like that, doesn't it? I mean, don't get me wrong, there's still a long way to go tonight, but off this first half showing, Salford just feel like they've got the edge over them at the moment. So, something's going to have to change in terms of whether it's personnel or tactics to try and get Swindon back into this game.
Moga's long throw is well cleared away. Palmer's won it. Drynan tries to feed it down the right. McGregor's chasing after this furiously. Burko's won it, and Burko has been forced to at least kind of dribble it out. So there's little sort of bits of green shoots for Swindon in contrast to the pitch, and a little bit sort of recovery and physicality, but they're 1-0 down here. We're in the third of the 8 additional first half minutes as McGregor's pass forces Tafazoli back out towards Kirkman on the left hand side. Quickly he has and Mai on him. Kirkman tries to come forward, and Salford managed to get the throw in there. It feels like, it looks a bit like Kirkman is having his first start after a long time, I think. And
yeah, Ian Holloway there, just as you look this way, Andrew, just threw the ball really hardly at the Salford number 19 fullback as it came to him. I think Holloway wanted him to get on with the game, but that just shows the frustration from the Swindon point of view from this first half.
Yeah, it's not a good time to be crockery in the Swindon dressing room, I would think, at half time. Salford again just getting it forward, hooking it forward quickly, and there's a foul by Oldacre on Woodburn here. But yep, they've tried a change in formation from the weekend where They had the three centre halves. They've gone for the 4-3-3 tonight. They can't still get a grip of Salford at the moment. Minogue plays this forward quickly to Longello, who's away from Kirkman down the right and into the penalty area. Cross into the box. I think Nichols has come back to deal with that. His deflection loops up in the air. Tafazoli gets it away. Swindon help it on towards Palmer, who nearly found Dryden with a really good layoff under a lot of pressure. That was a clever pass from Palmer. He's a bit unlucky not to get anything from it. Salford look for Burko down the left. Right sticks with him just outside the box. Has to clear it out, and Salford with another throw.
Yeah, Swindon just got to make sure now that they navigate to half time at the worst 1-0. Because said it a few times now, just been very slow and sluggish this first half, and they've got a lot of work to do here.
There's the throw in from Garbutt, defended well by Tafazoli, but powerful clearance. Swindon try and fire this forward, doesn't reach Palmer. Turton's across the cover, gets another throw, but this well. I wouldn't say we've gone full on Mark Kennedy here, but this isn't a sort of this doesn't really feel like an Ian Holloway side, does it? I would say.
It just feels
in terms of physicality or intensity. Swindon win a free kick there, well inside their own half.
Yeah, sorry to put it in there, Andrew, but for me, from a physical and a technical point of view, Swindon have been second best. Ian Holloway will be absolutely furious with this, because it's just been nothing, hasn't it? There's just been a nothing performance. We're just cruising along, waiting for things to happen. Technically, passing wise, not been good enough. Physically 100% haven't been good enough, and that's all areas. There's no areas on this pitch where you can say, actually, well, he's done okay, he's won his battles. They've lost all the battles on the pitch. For me, looking to be only 1-0 down.
Pumped long by Ripley. Minogue heads it away. Kilkenny's trying to get there in midfield, but Longello can launch this forward, and that turns into a decent pass to Graydon, and Graydon with a poor touch there that just allows it to run through to Ripley. I think he saw Mai inside him, and maybe there was a bobble involved, if we're going to be nice to Graydon. Swindon trailing 1-0 here, into Arsenal level now. That's one each. Kirkman just floats the ball up to Dryden on the edge of the penalty area, heads it down, won't reach Oldacre though. It just booted away happily by Burko, chested down by Graydon, and Swindon can let this run out for a throw through Kirkman quickly to Kilkenny. He's got a man on him and he has to go backwards. Again, we're in the last minute of this first half. Salford 1 up. Ripley long down the middle, too long down the middle, and that's going to run all the way through to the goalkeeper here. But yeah, they've got a big task to try and just find some energy and belief from somewhere. I think at the moment, they look like they're facing a side who they think are their kryptonite, even if that shouldn't be the case. Just knocked forward here by Swindon again from halfway, and Garbutt with a steady header back to his goalkeeper.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, it's the FA Cup third round. The winner plays Manchester City away in the fourth round of the FA Cup at the Etihad. It's a massive opportunity for these boys, which might not come along again. And at the moment, it doesn't seem like they're seeing that at all, just in the energy of the performance, or maybe the pressure is getting to them of that. Maybe it is a pressure, and it's that opportunity they know that's there as we hear the half-time whistle.
Yep, so Salford leading by a 0-0. That header from Graydon, a looping header from Burko's cross. There have been that many chances, in all honesty, for either side. Swindon had Oldacre stinging the goalkeeper's palms with his shot from range, but it wasn't really going to beat Young. And on a kick by his clever here onto the loop of the net, but it's Salford without overtly testing Ripley too much, who break play up in midfield, look more aggressive, look more threatening with their crosses into the box, and at the moment there's only one team that's going to be hanging around in Greater Manchester in the FA Cup fourth round day, and it's not Swindon, is it, Jonathan? They've got to do better.
It's not. I mean, stats aren't for everyone, but if you look to the stats for that half time in terms of duels, second balls, who's put more tackles in, who's ran harder, forget about chances and all that sort of stuff, it's Salford. They've just pushed Swindon around in most of the areas on the pitch, and Swindon have got a lot to do in this half time. Ian Hall's got a lot to do to get to raise these players and to try and give them some energy and some motivation to try and come out in this second half, because it is only 1-0. They're still very much in this game.
Well, that's the thing, I guess. Swindon trail by a goal to nil at the break. They've not fallen too behind to Salford, but they've not really looked like equalising either. Salford 1, Swindon 0.
This all sounds pretty grim and so very disappointing. Jonathan Smith and Andrew Hawes at Salford, 1 goal to make up. Comeback victories were a thing with Ian Holloway for much of last season. Stick with us for the next 45 minutes on BBC Radio Wiltshire and BBC Sounds. No live TV feed in the UK tonight. Jonathan, I appreciate there's no direct comparison you can make with the weekend, but I will ask you about personnel. How is Ola Kigbe doing playing up front alongside Palmer and Drinan?
To be honest, there's not been many bright sparks, but I would say that he's been quite lively, especially the first 5-10 minutes he got on the ball, and he is trying to make things happen. When the ball comes to him, he is running at Salford players, he is trying to get crosses in, trying to get involved. He had probably the best chance early on, so he's done okay. I'd like to see them get the ball to him a little bit more. You know, he went missing for a big spell of that half, but when he has had the ball, he has looked dangerous, and he's someone that, you know, you would want to keep him on in this second half and give him some more time to see what he can do.
A moment's player, as we've heard. Meanwhile, at the heart of defence, Phil Mabete, I think it was 8 minutes it took, and hence the added time, from accidental collision to departure from the pitch. How did he look?
Didn't look great, he was down for a while, but that sort of sums up what Salford have been about, really. They've been aggressive, you know, arms, bodies, winning tackles, making it difficult. You know, Mabete's felt the force of that. Will Wright came on, took one to the leg as well. You know, they're putting themselves about those strikers up there for Salford, and Mabete's, you know, felt the effect of that and had to come off. Hopefully he's okay.
One more for now, Jonathan. That's the absence of Finlay Munro's moved on to Middlesbrough. He's got a Championship club contract till 2030 off the back of a loan spell at the Nigel Levy County Ground. Tom Wilson-Brown played there Saturday. McGregor and Snowden had a turn. How's Billy Kirkman got on? First 45 minutes start since round 1 of the FA Cup this season.
Yeah, he's had a tough half. He's been booked. Technically on the ball, not been great. Lost a lot of balls. Had a struggle, but they all have. There's no one really you can say who's sort of stepped up to the challenge so far. He's had a tough half. Obviously, Finlay Munro, what a player to try and replace. You know, I was so impressed with him during his loan spell here. Really, really impressed. And on this showing so far, they're missing him.
The last time Swindon Town got to the 4th round of the FA Cup, Jonathan was playing. We beat Wigan, of course. That was their last defeat until they won the competition, wasn't it? The season after. We went on to play Leicester at the King Power Stadium. What a day out that was. Manchester City at Etihad awaits the winners tonight, but at present it is Salford 1, Swindon Town 0. The match stats, Swindon Town 47% possession. 5 shots, 1 on target. Salford have had 4, 1 on target. They've had 5 touches in the opposition box. We've had just the 1. They're 3-2 up on corners. And this is an interesting comparison. In terms of defence, advanced BBC match stats, Salford 3 clearances, Swindon Town 29. Ryan Graydon's goal, the signing from Fleetwood, what separates the two sides at present. At the second half, live on BBC Radio Wiltshire, on BBC Sounds as well. Elsewhere tonight, Manchester City lost 3-1 away to Bodø/Glimt in Norway, latest round of matches in the UEFA Champions League phase. Arsenal now 2-1 up against Inter Milan, second goal there for Gabriel Jesus, who I think I'm right in saying scored for Manchester City in the Swindon Town FA Cup tie at the County Ground 4 years ago now. And second goal for Spurs, Romero and now Solanke back after injury. Tottenham 2, Borussia Dortmund 0 in North London. The other games approaching half-time, 8 o'clock kickoffs, Copenhagen 0, Napoli 1. Olympiacos 1 by Leverkusen 0. Real Madrid 2-0 up at home to Monaco. Sporting 0, Paris Saint-Germain 0. And Villarreal 0, Ajax 0. FA Cup third round, Salford City 1, Swindon Town 0. The second half is here. And then Saturday, of course, Bromley away, the League 2 leaders. On air from 2, full commentary from 3. This time next week, before the weather intervened, before cup progression, we knew we'd be going to Notts County's Meadow Lane. That's Tuesday night, 7:45. Home to Barrow, away to Harrogate. Home to Oldham, 12:30 kickoff. We're up to the 7th of February. And that's the day Downton will be in action in the FA Vars last 16. Hear from manager Ollie Cherrett in just a second.
Ben Prater at breakfast. Auctioneer Mark Ewan Richards in Salisbury told us all about a chair once used by Judge John Bradshaw, the signatory of the King's death warrant in 1649.
We have got a fascinating Charles II oak table chair.
Who generally are the people then who will buy this kind of thing?
We get all sorts of buyers across the globe, from America, Hong Kong, Australia. Mainly it's collectors who love the early pieces of oak. That's what I like about antique furniture. It's actually there to be used.
Ben Prater at breakfast.
Weekdays from 6.
BBC Radio Wiltshire.
Yep, that chair that once belonged to the judge who sentenced King Charles I to death in 1649 being sold at auction tomorrow for up to £2,500. The auctioneer on with Ben this morning. He's back Wednesday from 6, losing track of the days. Just trying to keep up with the football's hard enough, trying to keep up with what day of the week it is as well. Swindon Town, relentless fixture list, 6 midweek matches in a row. They're all live on BBC Radio Wiltshire, the home of Swindon Town football commentaries. Focusing on our local non-league sides as well. Westbury beat Swindon Supermarine in the local derby last night in the Southern League. We're also following, of course, Melksham at that level. National South, Chippenham and Salisbury. And in the FA Vars, Downton through to the 5th round, drawn at home to Lymore Gardens from Ilford. That after Ollie Cherrett's side beats Slimbridge 0-0 after 90 minutes. 4-3 on penalties at their Wick Lane ground on Saturday.
I think I said it on Saturday night. Just one of extremely proud, really, to be manager of Downton Football Club. We had a difficult week the week before in our league game, and a lot of things were challenged at us. And the players were excellent on Saturday. All of the squad played their part. It was a very tough game, and to keep a clean sheet, 0-0. It's the old-fashioned: if you can't win it, don't lose it, and then take it to a penalty shootout. And which ended it up in absolute scenes at the end, and something that we'll be very, very proud of and will remember for a long time.
Did you guys practice penalties ahead of this? Is that something you routinely do?
Not on a regular basis, but obviously we know in the FA Vars that it's a 90-minute game and then straight to a penalty shootout. There's no replay, there's no extra time. Thursday night we trained for just over an hour. And for the last 15 minutes, we had a penalty shootout, and it's something that we pride ourselves on. You have to prepare for everything, and thankfully it paid off big time. Yeah, no, I know. I talk to clubs at your level so often in competitions like this, and we talk about the team, the wider team, the community. But when it goes to pens, it comes down to that one person, doesn't it? Poor Ross Casey's got to stand there, and he's got to do his stuff, and he did in those dying moments. He was the reason they were absolute scenes, wasn't he? Oh, he was brilliant. He did. To be fair, he didn't have a massive amount to do in the game. And being a goalkeeper, concentration is absolutely vital. And then, he comes to a penalty shootout, and he had the opportunity to make himself a hero again for us, and he did that massively. They scored the first 2 straight down the middle, and then it's about holding your nerve. He actually dived the wrong way, and the lad pulled it out and pulled it wide. But we scored all our penalties, and then coming to their 5th, they had to score to take it to our last one, and Ross made an unbelievable save down to his right-hand side, and like you say, then the scenes were set, as they say. I've been down to your club, and it's great, and there is a really lovely community atmosphere there. It's very often it's described to me as a small club with a big heart. What was the atmosphere like, in the clubhouse and afterwards? Just give us a sense of that. Just absolute joy. This is, as I say, we are a little village in Wiltshire, but we've got a big heart. And the supporters that have been with us this season. I've had a ride this year. We've had some real good highs and 1 or 2 lows, but we got into the bar on Saturday. All the supporters stayed to cheer the lads into the clubhouse. We had our Red Robin song singing, people on the table and chairs singing. The atmosphere was unbelievable, and something that will live long in the memory. But hopefully it's not the end of the story quite yet. Okay, so we now know that you're going to play. Now I'm sort of saying this with a question mark about it. Lymore Gardens FC. That is not a team I have come across. What do you know about them? What have you managed to glean in the last couple of hours? Well, obviously, for the first time in this competition, and it never happens at this level, really, we were able to listen to the draw live. There was a few big teams in there, and you're hoping for a home draw first of all, and the draw was split into north and south. And we were third team out, which then made us home, which was the first big plus. But there were some big teams left in it, and you're always thinking, can we have a team that we've got a real good chance against, and a home advantage? And Lymore come out. They play at Step 6, which is a league below us in London, but they have just beaten Reading City, who are, I was told a few weeks ago, one of the favourites to win it. So, look, we're under no illusion that this is going to be a very, very tough game. We're down to the last 16 of a national tournament. So, yeah, no, I hadn't heard of them either. So we've done a little bit of digging. We find out that they actually play on Friday evening. They've got a game. So I'm hoping to get someone to go and watch them and try and build a picture. But our focus now, and it sounds silly, we've enjoyed the weekend and it's been lovely today, but our focus must now turn to Saturday. We've got a really important home game against Brockenhurst.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? And again, as we've sort of done this season in, season out with different clubs across the county, it's great. We get all excited and we get excited for you, and then you go, no, we've still got the league to do, and that's really important to us. So just give us a snapshot how things are for you in the league right now.
It's been a difficult season for us. I came into the club just over a year ago now, and relegation was on the cards when I joined the club, and we managed to stay up in the Wessex Prem, which was massive. And then this year it's about been building a squad slowly but surely to compete and get up to where we want to be in the playoffs. And at the moment we're a bit short of that. We're sort of, I think it's in 10th, I think we might be at the moment. We've got a few games in hand and we play 2 teams in and around us over the next couple of weeks. So it's a big couple of weeks for us. Like I say, yes, we all get carried away, but we've got to go back to the bread and butter. All these managers that come on radios and TVs and say it and everyone laughs and jokes, but you've just got to take one game at a time. We'll start planning tomorrow night for Brockenhurst at home, but don't forget we've got that in the back of our minds that in a few weeks' time we've got probably the biggest game in the club's history at the Nest at Downton.
Downton boss Ollie Cherrett with BBC Radio Wiltshire's Marie Inge on last night's Sport at 6, your twice-weekly magazine every Monday and Friday evening. And they will play host to Lymore Gardens from Ilford for a place in the quarter-finals of the FA Vars. FA Cup third-round tie rearranged. Salford 1, Swindon Town 0 at the break. Tim of the Town. Third time lucky? After defeats twice in the league to the Ammies this season. Andy and Stratton stay positive, only 1 goal. Swindon hopefully fitter. Salford spend money, but they don't really have any money coming in. The league is far more important. Remember, Accrington got Liverpool away last season in the Cup. Nobody remembers that now. Swindon Town tonight, of course. I've already had to make a substitution. That's the replacement of Phil Mbete by Will Wright. The other options from the bench, and it's not a full complement. Lewis Ward, the backup keeper. James Ball, Jake Tabor, Tom Wilson-Brown, Joe Snowden, Aidan Borland and Danny Gonzalez. The second half is live next.
The players.
Compared to what I've been playing before in the 21s, it's like a completely different game. You have to kind of realise that quite quickly as well.
The manager.
Some players haven't got it. Some players want too much money, they don't care and they start moaning and they want to go. But our lot are completely and utterly wired into the club and everybody at the club and trying to get it right, I can guarantee you that.
Follow Swindon Town on BBC Sounds.
Often you find it with players, they seem to settle somewhere, seem to play their best football somewhere, and that was definitely the case in my career. It's just the place that I felt most at home, most at one with everybody at the club, and I enjoyed my football the most here for sure.
Just search for Swindon Town on BBC Sounds and hit subscribe.
BBC Radio Wiltshire.
You'll find that extended interview with Ben Gladwin, much more Ian Holloway and Joe Snowden as well. Subscribe, turn on push notifications, and you'll be alerted when new content drops. Just after 10 to 9, BBC Radio Wiltshire's Tuesday night football in the FA Cup third round tie. In the words of Yaz, things can only get better. Andrew Hawes, this is just so disappointing.
Yeah, it's just been a kind of flat performance. The pattern really from the other games is Salford with continued where they're extremely competitive in midfield. Swindon can't really get their passing game going, and they haven't quite been able to sort of use Palmer and so on more directly. They're going to make a couple of changes here, and they are 2 midfielders, though we'll see who quite goes where. They're going to bring on Aidan Borland and James Ball and Jonathan Smith. James Ball is an old teammate of yours, so they could put him in defence, they could put him in midfield, but I guess they're looking for someone with a bit of presence about him.
Yeah, I mean, he'll bring that. He's a big, strong lad. Not really seen him play midfield for Swindon. When I played with him, he was predominantly a midfielder. Big, strong lad. Got a good strike on him, actually. I think he just needs something to maybe spark, and whether that's a couple of substitutions like Ian Holloway is doing, because like you said, Andrew, Salford were first to everything in that area particularly. They were just more aggressive, more front-footed, fancied it a little bit more, seemed like they were up for the game a little bit more. So big half coming up.
So Swindon have got this underway. Borland is on for Aldaker. Ball replaces Kirkman. We'll see how Swindon line up then with those changes, and they get a throw in on the left hand side. Well, McGregor's still out on the right, so I wonder if they're going to switch to 3 at the back here. Swindon with a throw in down the left hand side, aimed in towards Drine. It had a bit of energy about them, and Salford clear it onto the roof of the stand. So Swindon definitely with Ripley in goal. I think it's going to be McGregor out wide right, Erla Kigby out wide left, Tafazoli right and ball in a defensive 3. Then you've got Nichols, Kilkenny, Borland, Palmer and Dryden. So early chance for Swindon to attack with a long looping high throw into that penalty area, which Salford inadvertently flicked towards their own goal before cleared, and Woodburn, and now a chance maybe for them to see if they can counter down the left hand side, but the pass is cut out well by Kilkenny, who breaks forward over the halfway line, out towards McGregor wide on the right hand side. We'll tell you about the Salford side when there's a break in play. Borland just gets early touch of the ball, pass to Kilkenny. He looks up, attempts to roll this down the right. Palmer looks to hold it up, does well. It's got McGregor ahead of him, and Swindon win a throw. And a little brighter start here, Jonathan.
Yeah, just look a little bit brighter, just running a little bit more busier. Kilkenny, I think, actually did okay in the first half. To be fair to him, I thought he was one of the better Swindon players. Just trying to dictate play, get on the ball, make things happen, just do things a bit quicker, a bit more intent. Look like you look like you want to try and make something happen and create some chances.
So long throw coming in, it's aimed well beyond Tafazoli, cleared to the edge of the box. Nichols with a shot, that's blocked, and eventually it ricochets harmlessly out through to the goalkeeper. But a little bit of action there for Swindon in and around the Salford penalty area.
Yeah, and attacking those, that big following behind the goal, you want to give something them to cheer about. They will make noise and they'll get behind you, but you've got to give them something. You've got to give them a bit of aggression, a bit of an intent, and you can hear them cheering there, and it's only a throw in. We just had nothing to go at so far.
Yeah, any scraps on the plate will be feasted on. Salford have Matt Young as their goalkeeper, Haji Manoga, Ollie Turton and Luke Garbutt are the back 3. Like I say, not the biggest back 3. You've got Kevin Burko wide left, Rosaire Longfellow wide right, Josh Osterfield, Matt Butcher and Ben Woodburn in midfield, and Mike sort of moving up forward alongside the scorer Graydon. Here is Swindon with Kilkenny about 25 yards out. Pings it out towards the left, but the pass is beyond Ola Kigbe and out of play. Unusual from Kilkenny.
Yeah, frustrating. Hasn't been technically at his best tonight in terms of on the ball and his passing ability. That was, really straightforward cross the field passing. A little bit too firm, but like I said, in the first half I thought he's one of Swindon's better players, because I think he is trying. I think he's trying to get people going around him.
Swindon playing from left to right in the white shirts, the blue shorts and socks. Salford in red shirts, white shorts and socks. So Swindon playing towards that really substantial travelling support, which is covering pretty much most of the terrace and the one block of seats they have away to our right hand side. Ball's inside the Swindon half at the moment. James Ball has to clear it away from the edge of the penalty area. Drynan's desperately battling for it under physical pressure. Nichols has it here. Goes back to Ball. Ball tries to ping an early pass in towards Palmer, who was second favourite to win it, but does win it. Keeps hold of it well, but he can't find Nichols in midfield. Salford are good at putting physical pressure on, and they try and clip an early ball out towards Woodburn on the right, or Graydon on the right hand side, and that runs through to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, I think looking at the formation as well now, they've got that 3 at the back with Wright on the left, Tafazoli in the middle and Ball on the right. They've got Drynan now right up alongside Palmer. We didn't see anything of Drynan in the first half, so hopefully we can get a little bit more out of him, in that position coming into the second half.
It's a chance for Borland to get involved after a good interception from Tafazoli. McGregor on halfway. Plays a high ball looking for Drynan, who shows good strength to get hold of it. Back to goal, fed in towards Palmer, and again he can't get hold of it. And the goalkeeper Young will clear, but they're making some more progress, Swindon. They've got to do a bit of defending here as Salford play it long, and Tafazoli comfortably turns away from Mai. Here's McGregor into Nichols. Kilkenny and Tafazoli again on the halfway line. Kilkenny quickly delivers this out towards McGregor on the flank, who's looking to take on Mai. He weaves. Kilkenny now on the right hand side gets a 1-2 back with a good ball from Drynan. Kilkenny's got space to cross about 20 yards out or so, puts a low ball into the penalty. It's flicked towards goal by McGregor, and Turton, with not much threat, puts it behind for a corner there. Didn't think he... not sure he thought he had the time that he did. Anyway, Swindon set piece.
Yeah, it looked like he went with the wrong foot and he could have gone anywhere that, but better from Swindon, just better energy, more busier, more running. Kilkenny pulling the strings in there, just a much better start to the second half.
Swindon trailing 1-0, looking better for these half-time changes. And again, lots of humanity inside the 6-yard box. Swindon have played this corner short. It's with Kilkenny just outside the penalty area, across into the back post. Minoga clears, forced a ball in, good first touch, gets in half a shot, it's cleared. Back to Kilkenny, plays a ball out to the right side of the penalty area, laid off by McGregor to Nichols. He feeds in McGregor down that right hand side, takes half a yard across, loud appeals for handball from behind the goal, nothing given, but Salford can counter. That's a brilliant touch from Mai. Swindon are in trouble here. Borland's the only man back, he feeds it to Graydon inside the penalty area, and Salford finish ruthlessly from the Swindon set piece. It's a double for Graydon, and they look like they're heading to Manchester City on Valentine's Day, and Swindon are feeling pretty bleak and lost. 2-0 Salford.
It's just not good enough defending, is it? It's just not, you're piling men forward. One quick counter attack. I don't know what Kilkenny's doing, to be honest. I'll have to see it back, but I think he's dived in. Because it's 2-on-2, he's dived in, he's missed the ball, and then it's 2-on-1, and you're fearing then. If Mai picks the right option, which he did, Graydon just needs to pass it into the net. But I think it's just a bad defensive decision there from Kilkenny. He just needs to hold his ground and hold them up so he can get the Swindon players back into position. But I'd have to see it back. But mounted to climb now after a decent start. Swindon are on the attack, and all of a sudden they find themselves 2-0 down. It's criminal.
Yeah, so the ball was kind of fed up to Mai, and he kind of flicks it with the outside of his foot. Kilkenny's too tight to him. And once Mai spun away from Kilkenny, he knows he's beaten. Borland is back there. He slows down Mai as best as he can, but there's no one's available with everyone up from the set piece to track Graydon.
Yeah,
it's 2-0.
For me, it's experienced player Kilkenny, and Mai is a good player. I mean, he's in again here actually.
Well, the offside flag goes up to save Swindon on that occasion.
I mean, everyone watching this game saw in the first half that Mai, the most dangerous player on the pitch, was lively, he's quick. Just hold those Duran and pushes forward, but you've just got to hold him up and not dive in, send him back to goal, because if you try and dive in against them, he's quick, he's tricky, and he'll cause you problems, which he did there, and that could be a killer blow, that for Swindon.
Swindon trying to attack, referee's seen something for a foul on the far side. So Salford leading by 2-0 here, and so well on course to have their repeat trip to the Etihad Stadium. They went there last year. They lost 8-0. They went on a terrible run of form afterwards, and they ultimately missed out on the playoffs by 1 point when they couldn't beat Carlisle on the final day of the season. Chesterfield sneaked in. At the moment, the best Swindon can hope for from tonight is that Salford get similarly distracted in their promotion campaign. They've got 37 minutes to score twice here. McGregor with a good header away from the goalkeeper's clearance. He chases. Salford just whacked this forward, and Mai's headed it down, and here's Graydon trying to break into the penalty area for his hat-trick. Swindon slow him down, looks for Mai with a cross, that's half blocked. Nichols is taken out on the edge of the area, or just pushed down by Woodburn, and Woodburn is adjudged to have kicked the ball away, so he also gets a booking. 2-0 Salford.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about that boy Graydon before the game being lively and very much a physical presence up there, although he's very mobile. He's worked really hard to make it difficult for Tafazoli and Ball tonight, and Will Wright. He's got himself 2 goals, and he fancies himself for a hat-trick now in his home debut.
No, 2,215 here, 618 is the Swindon travelling attendance. McGregor looks to drive forward here, tries a run on the edge of the box, he's tackled. Salford clear up towards halfway. This breaks out to Ola Kigbe on the left hand side, but there's just too two around him. Back it goes to Wright, who plays a lovely ball to Ola Kigbe. He breaks into the penalty area, low on the left hand side, cross into the box, header, goal back. Swindon are suddenly in it from close range there. The ball just clipped across. Great run from Ola Kigbe, breaks into the 6-yard box, and it's nodded in by Palmer, and it's Salford 2, Swindon 1.
Get in, just what we needed. That was massively needed. You didn't want to let this game drift for too long without getting back into it. Swindon got right back into it from absolutely nothing. Ollie Keeper, that boy on that left hand side, causing problems all night. Lovely little cross. Palmer's there to nod it in, and Swindon are right back in it, and we're giving Swindon fans here something to shout about.
Well, we know the pattern of these games. It's gone from 2-0 back to 2-2. Salford go with a big diagonal ball that Graydon heads down into the penalty area. Ball for Swindon into McGregor, who's kind of throwing himself forward whenever he can. Tries a cute pass there, which is picked up in midfield, but Mai is offside again. And Swindon get a little bit of a break here. And the free kick is not taken from the correct position, but pretty simple header for Palmer, but job done from the corner.
Very much so, and you know what, it puts a lot of doubt back into the Salford players' minds now, and that goal will give Swindon a massive lift. I just hope they can sort of take advantage of that now and put this Salford team under pressure and really go for it, because it's the FA Cup. You get one chance, absolutely go for it now.
Well, it's one chance for maybe a once in a career game for some of these players. Nichols now out to McGregor. Back to Nichols about 25 yards out. Plays a ball in towards Drynan. He gets hold of it. It's out wide now on the right hand side. Into McGregor again. Swindon keeping possession here, but McGregor's pass is short. It can't find Ball, who retreats back, and Mai is full of step overs here, trying to twist the blood of Kilkenny. In the end, Nichols just snaps in, wins the tackle, and Swindon can start to counter again. Kilkenny in possession into Borland. Back to Nichols. Referee's letting quite a lot go all of a sudden. Drynan, that's a good turn. Gets away there from Garbutt. Doesn't get past Minoga. But the ball ricochets to Borland. Now Ola Kigbe can have a crack at Longello again on the left-hand side. Cuts in on the right foot. Goes across the box. Curls in a shot. And it's a few yards wide of the back post.
Just as the book there, I think they've just booked John McGregor for a previous foul, but Ola Keeper now looks like he really fancies it. I think Swindon players get the ball out to him. He's running at people, he's causing problems, he's set up a goal, he's had a shot there. On the back of that as well, Drynan looks a different player down the middle, looks like he fancies it a little bit more, and things all of a sudden looking a lot brighter. Swindon just got to keep this back door locked though. They look a little bit vulnerable when they push players forward.
Yep, they are taking a certain amount of risks. There's more discussion, there might be another change here. Coming, lots of consultation between the coaching staff on the bench. Swindon trailing by 2-1. Palmer's close range header from Ola Kigbe's cross. Palmer immediately grabbing the ball out of the net and running back to the centre circle. Wright propels a massive long throw forward for Swindon down the left hand side. Salford get this, just pump this up towards the edge of the penalty area. Ball does well to head it clear. Tafazoli has to get this away and does so under pressure from Graydon. Borland, that's quite a sort of inventive touchdown. Swindon have won this in midfield. Nice pass from Palmer. Finds Drynan. Borland have made a great run ahead of him. Drynan couldn't get the ball forward. All frantic in that centre again. Eventually drops to Kilkenny in among the chaos. Ola Kigbe. Kilkenny breaking forward down the left-hand side. Tackled really strongly by Woodburn, and Mai's looking to counter. Nichols comes to mop it up and does so. Take a breath. Salford lead 2-1.
I mean, this game has been playing at a really fast tempo, like you say, Andrew, now, but Swindon are adding to that. They're playing at tempo as well. In the first half, it was Salford playing at tempo. Swindon have definitely picked it up. They're doing things busier. They're passing it quicker. They're sharper to the ball. Really good opportunity here for Swindon to get back into this.
Well, they've won a free kick for what I have to say looked a fairly soft challenge on Palmer, but it's out in a wide left position here for Wright maybe to bend in. Salford 2, Swindon 1. Palmer with the goal this time. So Swindon have taken this quickly, and it gives Ola Kigbe a chance to run into the penalty area, get away from Longello, but a low cross into the box, and that's 2-2. Just side-footed put it in to level it up for Swindon, and Ola Kigbe has turned this tie round with 2 excellent crosses, and James Ball, with his first goal for Town, has casually tucked it in and turned this tie around in the most unlikely fashion. Salford 2, Swindon 2.
This game is, what a crazy game that we're watching right here. But Ola Kigbe, like you say, Andrew, he's the man. Get the ball to him. He is causing problems. His confidence is up. He's set up 2 goals now. He's got pace. But credit to James Ball. I mean, James Ball, when I played with him at Stevenage, he has got an eye for a goal. He can slot the goal, the chances away when they come, and he took that like a striker, didn't he, Andrew? Slotted it nicely into the corner, 2-2.
Yeah, that was just a very calm side foot finish. But I say, when you go and look through his stats, there was a point where I think he was scoring goals pretty regularly for Solihull. So Salford about to make some changes here in response to this 2-0 lead evaporating. Dan Udo is coming on, Osterfield is coming off, and Brandon Cooper is also being brought into defence, it looks like, to replace Burko. So Carl Robinson quickly changing things around here. So Udo the striker replacing Osterfield the midfielder, and we'll see what they do. And Ben Woodburn is also coming off here, so he's replaced by George Grant, who ended up holding job in midfield. So real flurry of changes there from Salford to try and figure out what they can do after Swindon, like I say, have suddenly grabbed this tie, having really sleptwalked through the first 45 minutes or so.
Yeah, I mean, like, goals change games, don't they? And Ollie Palmer's goal there, it just lifted everyone. I mean, credit to Swindon, to be fair, they come out of this second half a lot busier, a lot brighter, with a lot more intent. You could just feel it. They were unfortunate to concede that goal, a little bit of an error, but those things happen. It's when Swindon run the attack, but they've just come out better. They just look, all the keepers, causing big problems. Really key to keep getting the ball to him, look after him, and look after Graydon, and get the ball to Ola Kigbe, and you've got a chance of winning this game.
Well, he has been able to take on Longello, and I think Salford have switched him over to the far side. Swindon with a big diagonal ball here. McGregor gets inside Longello, has his shirt tugged, tries to cut this back to the edge of the penalty area. Salford clear, back to the goal scorer Ball, who hooks in a big diagonal cross, and Manoga, with no one really round him, but just sensing Ola Kigbe, knocks it behind. Swindon corner.
Yeah, and you can feel the pressure. The crowd can feel it. The Swindon fans get right behind the team now. Can they go for the throat here and get a third?
Well, Tafazoli marches up late to add his big frame to all those presences in and around the box. Corner in front of the travelling fans. 2-2. Yeah. Wright kills it into the heart of the penalty area. Cleared. Borland just volleys it back into the box, but it's got too much on it and goes behind for a goal kick.
You have to say credit to the coaching staff as well. The change of formation. I think Drinan looks a different player down the middle. He really does. He looks like he really fancies it. He's making good runs. He's getting hold of it. He's in the game now. The first half we just didn't see him. Palmer's obviously got his goal. Confidence is up. He's just looking a lot better.
Manoga flicks on a long ball from Salford. Swindon have this on the left hand side. Drinan, great layoff from the pass on halfway, and Ola Kigbe's breaking down the left again. This time he's got a chance to take on someone different. Just plants this back to Kilkenny this time. Swindon with Wrightwell forward, clips the ball with the outside of his right foot, finds Drinan, he's onside, and he lashes it high and over from a tight and ambitious, almost Van Basten-esque angle.
You know what, I fancied him though. He's in good form, he's scoring goals. It came to him, the angle's against him, like you say, and he's gone for the big swipe with his left foot. It's way over the bar, but just better again, just playing forward, running forward. Swindon are on top here.
Yeah, but suddenly there's kind of uncertainty and confusion in that Salford defence, which Swindon either couldn't get at or couldn't really disrupt.
Yeah, there is, and it's a horrible feeling when you're 2-0 up, because you think you've won the game, and you just think you're there. 2-0's that feeling. When you score that second, it's second half, we're going to do it now, and then to be back at 2-2 so quickly, nerves are going to kick in here.
Salford look for Graydon, who picks it up well on the right hand side using a big sort of wiry frame of his, but his pass is read by Kilkenny, who comes forward, is tripped and fouled, and that will be a free kick. And Salford are I have to say they're pretty good at those kind of fouls that break up counter-attacks.
Yeah, and you have to give credit to Kilkenny again. I know I mentioned him for the goal, and he's not been perfect tonight, but he's a trier, isn't he? He's trying to get things going. He's busy. He's getting on the ball. He's clearly the leader in there. He's the type of player you want in your team.
They play with a direct ball forward here. Palmer tries to bring it down. Salford able to tidy that up. Turton gets the better of him on that occasion. Now whacked clear by the goalkeeper up to the new striker Udo. Ball gets in the clearing header. Out to Longello on the left, but he looks rattled by life at the moment. It's passed straight to Kilkenny. Salford win it back though, and it's with Longello again on this left-hand side. Trying to take on McGregor with some step-overs. Just gets half a yard to go wide, floats across in, and Ripley will be able to take that without undue pressure, despite all the oohs you heard round us. Easy for him to grab from close to the crossbar.
Yeah, I mean, to prefer to Ripley, he made that look quite easy because it was looping quite high and he was going back towards his goal, but he did well, the keeper.
Well, Palmer and Drinan trying to link up. Palmer found him. Drinan couldn't get the return ball back to his striking partner. Salford 2, Swindon 2. Udo tries to hold it up. Gets a turn, gets half away from ball. It's with Mai now. And Mai comes forward past one challenge. Not past the challenge from right, but it's the challenge from right. Well, was that a bit late on? But I think it might have been for the earlier one on Mai. So Salford with a set piece here, very much in shooting range. And suddenly they look a little more potent and threatening again.
Yeah, it feels like Mai and Olakipe, from a Swindon point of view, they're the two players that have made the biggest impact on this game. Both of them similar sort of players in some ways, want to get the ball, want to run at people, want to make things happen, and whenever they're on the ball, that's when you feel like there could be an opportunity of a goal, and Mai showed his skill there. He's been brought down. This is a dangerous free kick now.
Garbutt fancies this with the left foot. I think he's got a real record from these. Grant's interested as well. Those are two of the options, so this is about just over 25 yards out or so. It's marginally right of centre, but not by much. Just wonder whether Salford have got one of those little routines, whether someone runs over it and someone has a shot. They're trying to keep Swindon honest here. It'll either be Grant with the right foot or Garbutt with the left. Referee wants to have a word with Ripley about something. This all feels like this is taking an inordinate amount of time for this free kick to happen.
Yeah, I mean, what we're looking at here, Andrew, 20-25 yards, would you say?
Yeah, I think so. So Garbutt does have some ability from set pieces. Grant has a good scoring record. It's Garbutt with the left foot. Oh, he's carved it in quite brilliantly. Round the wall off the inside of the post and back past Ripley, and the tie takes another twist. Garbutt's free kick is an excellent one. Nothing Ripley can do. Smacked off the woodwork and in. Salford 3, Swindon 2.
It's a quality free kick. It's a piece of quality. Swindon will need to keep the spirits up here. This game isn't over, but that's, it's clipped off the balls. It's a really good free kick. Nothing that Connor Ripley could do about it. Created by that man in Mai again. Swindon's got to go again here. They've got to go again. I feel like there's more goals in this. There's more opportunities. You can see a Tafazoli there rallying the troops, because this is far from over. There's plenty of time to go here. 20-25 minutes to get yourselves back into this.
This has been the pattern of all three games. Or Salford take the lead, Swindon get back into it, and then Salford just get that third that proves too much of a bridge. So Swindon will kick off here again with 22 minutes to find a goal. Or miss out in this game with Manchester City, and Ripley's clearance goes out and past Olakigbe and out of play. I'm sure you've been in this situation, Jonathan. It must be a bit, you're talking about the effect on Salford there, but when you've done all that hard work to have to lift yourself off the canvas again.
Yeah, it's really frustrating, especially the position we were in. It felt like we were on top. It felt like we were getting a hold of the game, causing problems and looking the more likely team, really. It's just Salford have got players that are capable, in my being one of them, of causing problems, and he's done that all night.
It's McGregor. He's done well to put Longello under pressure here as the ball was poked out to him wide on the left-hand side, and in comes Nichols, and Nichols keeps that down by the byline, and then he's pushed by Longello, and Swindon will quite correctly get a free kick, much as the Salford substitutes will insist the ball has gone out. Salford 3, Swindon 2. Ripley, long ball forward, drops to Kilkenny in midfield. McGregor tries to hit a crossfield pass to Ola Kigbe, breaks straight to Minogue. He drives through the centre, past Nichols, it's with Mai, and Mai plays it in. Here's Graydon on the left side of the box, and he lifts it over with a chance surely to kill the tie.
It's that man in my he's just been the standout player for Salford, and we just can't seem to get a grip of him. Whenever he gets the ball, he picks really good options. He slid Graydon through there, and you think Graydon's just going to pass it into net. Fortunately for Swindon, he's gone high with it, kept us in the game, because that could have been a killer blow.
20 minutes left here. So I'm trying to breathe in, settle and regroup, but Mai has normally played out on the wings against Swindon, and it's been a problem out wide, but he's even more every bit as dangerous at the very least, with the ball in the number 10 role for that number 10. Swindon with Palmer, who can't get hold of it, hooked forward. Graydon showing good pace to pick this up wide on the right hand side, just outside the penalty area. Wright is happy to force it off him and get Swindon a throw in that he takes quickly. And it's not easy for Ola Kigbe with a couple of people around him. Almost luckily for Swindon, he's tackled, and that goes behind for a goal kick.
Did Mai play well on Saturday, Andrew?
He had one of his quieter games, but he was, again, he was difficult up here in last season as well. He's given Swindon all sorts of problems. He's scored against them. He's just got a lot of quality. The Salford youngster, Dutch in origin. Salford not this long. Udo's looking for it. Graydon appeals that there's something untoward going on inside the box. Nothing given. It's with McGregor. Turns and drives again with purpose. Away from Longello. Goes down under pressure. Wins the free kick. And like I say, McGregor looks absolutely desperate to influence the tie and just get his head down and run and run and run.
We've been so much better in this second half. So much better. We've just been more lively, for more running power. Salford have scored an absolutely superb free kick there. Sometimes you've got to hold your hands up, but we are more than still in this tie. Just got to keep believing, keep showing that energy, really give it everything we've got and try and force our way back to this. Drainer's making some really good runs. I'd really like us to try and find him a little bit more and try and thread him through and see if we can get him involved in the game a little bit more.
Yellow card shown to the Salford bench. I think that was Alex Bruce, the assistant. Swindon with a free kick, which Wright takes on halfway, tries to bend it towards Drainer on the right hand side. Well, that's cleared. Turn eventually force the throw in with some work from Nichols right in front of the Salford bench. Home side leading 3-2 here. 18 minutes to go. Break in play because the second ball is on the pitch. And this is going to be left for a throw in for James Ball to take. So if he just puts this up long towards the box. High arcing from Ball, flicked down by Palmer. Salford just about clear to the edge of the box, but Kilkenny wins it. Ola Kigbe looking to attack against Minogue, cutting across the box with great skill on the right foot, and the shot comes in and it just loops and spins into the goalkeeper's gloves.
Yeah, it's that man Ola Kigbe again. Every time he gets the ball, looks like something's going to happen.
Great clearance by Salford down the other end, and a beautiful touch from Graydon to bring it down as well, and then a poor touch from Graydon just to run it out of play. But Swindon are inevitably taking, or it feels like they're taking risks to push players forward here, as you would perhaps expect. 3-2 down. Udo tries to hold this up. Ball will get in there and win it, and then kind of ricochets out to the left hand side for a Swindon throw-in. Salford 3, Swindon 2 here on BBC Radio Wiltshire and BBC Sounds. Mind, if you want regular Swindon news, search for Swindon Town on BBC Sounds. You'll find our feed of all the press conferences, interviews and all the rest of it, and enable your notifications, and you will be told on your phone once that arrives. 16 minutes to go. Palmer and Ball, the scorers for Swindon, have got it back from 2-0 to 2-2, but Luke Garbutt's excellent free kick I've seen Salford reclaim the lead. Borland tries to head it down. Drynan comes in pretty wildly to look to win it. On halfway, Salford pump it through to Ripley again. Be interested to see how Salford seeing out the game. They did that well at the weekend. They hook it long again. It's cleared well by Tafazoli, so to make sure Amai doesn't get the ball. This is to Nichols in midfield. Nice touch takes him away there from Butcher. Butcher half breaks it up. Borland will look to come in and win it. But Brandon Cooper pounces on him quickly, and that goes out for a Salford throw, and it's just back to that sort of midfield slugfest.
Yeah, and the thing, this will suit Salford now. They're happy to just sort of make it scrappy, play in Swindon's half, get men behind the ball, slow things down, take the tempo out of the game, whereas Swindon had actually raised the tempo a lot at the start of that second half, whereas now Salford, they're going to try and really work hard to cling on to this lead.
Look for the long throw into the box, doesn't reach anyone. Udo has it, comes to Grant though, who can shoot from about 25 yards out, doesn't catch it that cleanly, and it bounces wide. Grant, who scored from long range. So in all these games, Salford have been able to score some long range goals. Swindon are going to make a couple more changes here with less than 15 minutes to go plus stoppage time, and needing to find an equaliser, trailing by 3-2. Dryden can't bring it down, and every time Salford get it now, they just hook it forward and invite Graydon to use his pace, and Graydon's got this on the left side of the penalty area. Pulled back to Udo, return towards Enmai, and Nichols, as ever, somehow manages to plug the gap, intercept the pass, and win Swindon a goal kick.
Yeah, Graydon's caused problems all night. He's just got really good running power, he's got pace, and then he gets it, and Mai up to support him. Muddle's now on supporting him. They're just they're a lively attacking threat, and Swindon have struggled to deal with that tonight. There's a couple more changes now for Swindon to try and swing it back our way.
Well, that's the last act from Tom Nichols. So Jake Tabor is going to come on for him, and Joel McGregor is off, and Joe Snowden is on. So we'll see where Tabor goes. And like I say, McGregor has really run himself into the ground, so Snowden gets to play on that right hand side role. Here's Palmer flicking it on. Tabor heads it towards the edge of the box. Salford try and hook it clear. Palmer has it, looks to chest it down and shoot on the volley, but it's very high and it's very wide, but you could see it dipping to him invitingly.
Yeah, it's one of those you have to hit it, and if you catch it sweet, that can fly in the top corner. It can be an unbelievable goal, but it's just a bit wild from Palmer. Technique let him down a little bit.
So Swindon have still got, it feels like the 3 at the back, and Snowden's out wide right. It's kind of 5, sort of 2-3 really, with Kilkenny and Borland in the midfield. Palmer, Drynan and Tabor up front. Swindon find Olakigbe, just can't get the ball to run through to successfully. Tabor given away by the home side. Wright has it here, aimed up towards the edge of the box, headed down with some calm by Brandon Cooper. Longello has it, 12 minutes to go, 3-2. Alan Mai pops up in space on the left hand side, and Swindon look a bit exposed as Mai runs gleefully towards the box, tricks his way past a couple of players, still going, nearly forces it in, and Ripley's just about got in front of him, and Mai in the end has poked that into the side netting, having dribbled virtually through everyone from halfway.
Honestly, Mai's running through people like he's Lionel Messi there, isn't he? He's in and out, he's great balance. People are scared to put a tackle in as he comes to the box, and he nearly just squeezed that in to finish the ties. He's been a real problem tonight for Swindon.
Ball with a diagonal ball aimed towards Tabor. Drops to Olakigbe, is in a more central position here. Borland picks it up. Swindon can try and come forward with Kilkenny. Laid out to Tabor, who's wide on the left hand side. Back with Kilkenny. Borland, Kilkenny again. Borland out to that far touchline. Wright thinks about the cross. Back to Borland. Swindon keeping it well, but they can't work their way into an attacking position here. Borland back to Tafazoli, who just scoops a pass forward. And Salford will try and clear and look for the counter-attack, and ball just about gets there. Wright will come forward with it. Wright's about 25 yards up, breaks towards the edge of the box, tries to slide a pass into the penalty area. Almost broke to Palmer, and Salford just give it away and give it straight to Olakigbe. in the penalty area, left-hand side, goes in on the right foot, has a shot blocked, then comes back to him, has another follow-up. Salford throw men in the way of that, but they don't look comfortable for a second or two. Clark clears it to right, another cross into the penalty area, drops down via a deflection. Minogue's trying to get it clear, and there's a foul by Swindon by an over-eager Tabor, and that relieves the pressure. 3-2 Salford.
Couple of really good openings there for the keeper. It fell to him really nicely on the edge of the box, and fair play to the Salford defence. They are throwing their bodies in front of it, because you felt if you could get that on target, there'd be a good chance. You could beat the keeper from that distance. But there is still time here. Swindon have got loads of attacking players on that pitch now. Got to keep getting it forward to the keeper, get it forward to Drynan, support them, and see if we can, try and find another chance to get back into this game.
3-2 still to Salford, thanks to that. Garbett free kick, cleared by the goalkeeper Young. Easy for Tafazoli to head clear. Cooper tries to guide it away with a header out towards Longello. It doesn't look too convincing. Swindon win it back. Palmer's got possession here, breaks into the box, clearly having his shirt held, gets in the shot there, and Palmer looks up. It's easily saved by the goalkeeper. I guess that's an advantage, but we could see the shirt tugging going on.
You know what? It looked like Palmer was going to run through on goal there. He's 18 yards out and he's clearly getting pulled. Now the referee's played on. Don't know if he's given the advantage, but Palmer's not able to get the shot off, and weak shot in the end, and now Salford on the attack.
Mai has the ball just outside the penalty area, left hand side, floats across into the back post. Graydon can head it down. Grant tries to turn, sees if he can get a shot in, can't, and Mai has it, tries to curl it into the top corner, lands on the roof of the net.
That man and Mai again causing problems, picking good choice. It's been a good night for him. He chooses really good options in forward areas. But back to that Palmer chance, I don't know about you, Andrew. I thought Palmer was going to go running through, and you could clearly see from our angle that he's getting his shirt pulled, and he was unable to get the shot off. So pull it back, referee. Give the free kick, because it's a clear shirt pull for me.
8.5 minutes left. Salford deal with Ripley's clearance. Graydon knocks it forward. Udo tries to bring it down. This will drop towards Tafazoli. His ball through the middle cleared. Now Wright picks it up. Right into midfield. That's quite a good touch from Palmer. Just a tackle right at the last from Cooper when Palmer looked like he got away from him. And Salford work it out towards Graydon. And Graydon's trying to cut inside Tafazoli. Graydon's still going. Out to Longello on this left-hand side. Game inevitably stretched. Salford leading 3-2. I'm just going to try and keep it a little bit here. Butcher doesn't look too thrilled about that. Longello, and he's lost it. And Kilkenny tries to get it forward. This eventually ricochets towards Ball. Ball looks down the right. Curls it forward, but easy for Garbett to head clear. There's such a kind of fine line, isn't there, here, I guess, as Salford launch another ball over the top. Jonathan between, trying to play with a high tempo, and then just because of the pressure of it just being a bit too frantic.
Yeah, we've done a lot better second half. We just looked like we've been more in the game, more aggressive, challenged better, won more duels. It's been a so much better second half. It's just whether we can get this third. I mean, when we go forward, we look dangerous.
Swindon finding areas out wide. Olakigbe running forward again. He's shooting on the right foot there, and another shot that takes a deflection behind and spins away from a corner. But he loves to cut in and unleash with his right foot from that left-hand side.
Yeah, every time he gets the ball, or the keeper on that left-hand side, he's wanting to come in on that right foot. He just hasn't quite found his range, but he's clearly Swindon's the most dangerous attacking play from Swindon point of view. I think it's like the battle between him and Mai at the moment. Mai causing problems from a Salford point of view, and Olakipe the other way.
So Salford with everyone back to defend the corner, curled into the heart of the 6-yard box. One initially by the home side, who are trying to counter here, although Udo has kindly given it away from Swindon's perspective, and they work it out to the far touchline. Olakigbe back to Kilkenny in midfield, looks up left-footed, big diagonal cross with some of the big men still there, headed down inside the box. Drynan's trying to turn and get it. Salford managed to scramble clear inside the penalty area, just whacked out of play. Waiting for that one moment for it to drop. 6 minutes left. Salford 3, Swindon 2. Borland looks up, hits a excellent diagonal pass there. Salford forced to head it clear through Longello, and that'll get them a throw in. Are they looking for the long throw? No, they've just given it to Olakigbe straight away. Now with Wright out wide to the right hand side. Chance to cross low into the penalty area, half swept towards goal. Salford struggling to clear. Can it get poked in? Oh yes, it can. Swindon are back in it for the third time. Ryan Tafazoli has somehow forced the ball home from close range, and the goal has been chalked off.
No idea why that's got chalked off. It just looked like a goal-mouth scramble. I don't know what they've given. Did they think the keeper's got two hands on it? It clearly can't be offside, Andrew, can it? Surely not. I mean, it was a real goal-mouth scramble from where we're standing. You couldn't quite see what had happened, but...
Well, the Swindon players have gone across to protest to the officials. But play has restarted, and Salford lead by 3 goals to 2. And apologies for getting you off your seats there for a moment or two. Salford play it forward, but that's a loose pass, might break to Tabor. They're very lucky that it runs to Minoga, but he can't control it. Throw into Swindon. They just can't. These games are all fine margin games again. Free kick from Salford, which is well taken and well converted, but from long range, and then Swindon have one cleared off the line on Saturday. Now that disallowed goal, which is difficult to quite explain. It is up the sort of far end of the pitch as we are concerned. Ball has it here, but he's just given it away, or just pumped it sort of forward, hopefully. Lumped by Cooper towards goal. Tafazoli heads it clear, finds Borland, Kilkenny, and they are sort of conceding space out wide, Salford, and that comes in towards Olakigbe. His touch is a bit heavy, allows Minoga to make the tackle. Kilkenny can retrieve possession. There's 3.5 minutes left. Minoga scraps away there. Now Kilkenny looking for that sort of switch of play out towards Snowden this time. Salford clear, drops towards Udo. Udo gets away past a couple of players, not past Snowden, who tidies it up. Ball has possession, floats the pass forward again to Olakigbe. This time he ducks past Minoga, who tackles him, but Swindon win the throw-in out wide on the left, and Tafazoli takes the cue to go forward here.
Yeah, just got to keep pushing here. There's plenty of space down that left hand side for the keeper. Keep getting the ball out to him, get bodies forward. And there's plenty of physical players in that box here.
So just taking shot. I don't think the ball has gone in. It's gone into the box, or has gone onto the pitch. So it won't be a foul throw. It'll be another Swindon throw for James Ball, and this will be a long throw. There's 2.5 minutes left plus stoppage time. That trip to Manchester City at stake, but it's Salford leading. In comes the long throw, scramble inside the box, punted away by Salford. Kilkenny's the last man back to stop Graydon, and he does. Wright has possession. Now Borland, about 35 yards out, looks up, diagonal cross into the penalty area, attacked well by Ball, appeals for handball behind the goal. I don't think there's any serious intent in there, and the goalkeeper just comes and grabs it.
Yeah, it's a good ball on the diagonal from Borland.
Salford boom it from one end of the pitch to the other beyond Udo. Ripley,
sorry Andrew, I was going to say this second half's been good from Swindon. Ian Holloway will be really pleased with this second half performance. It's been very good. I think, on this showing we deserve to get at least something out of this.
Olakigbe plays a good ball into the penalty area. Swindon just trying to turn, but couldn't work it forward, and now they're in real danger of being counter-attacked by Salford, who are breaking over halfway here with Mai, and Mai just switches play calmly out towards Grant. Grant's pass won't find Graydon, but Borland has come in to try and win the ball back. He's fouled Grant, and Grant's banging the turf in frustration with annoyance initially about his poor pass, but from Borland there, I think that's just the kind of thing that happens with young excitable players on loan. They dive in when they don't need to.
Yeah, just need to hold him up there, but you're looking at the clock now, you're desperate to get the ball back, and there's always going to be spaces. Swindon are throwing bodies forward now, they're going to be giving up spaces. There's going to be the odd counter attack here from Salford, because just for the vast amount of players that are pushed forward, but Swindon got a bit of defending to do here in a place where they don't want to be.
So Salford to take the set piece, and of course they are slowly and naturally having great deliberations about it. Grant is standing over the free kick. He can just clip it into the box if he wants. There's no real sign that he's desperate to shoot.
I'd be surprised if he shoots from here, Andrew, in this situation.
Well, Garbutt is going to have another go with a free kick, and Ripley can take that. It was on target, but this time makes the save head high. Cracks the ball forward high and right-footed. There's 4 additional minutes for Swindon to try and score here and send it into extra time. They thought they won it. They got level through Tafazoli. They're having to defend now through Graydon. He's got about 4 players around him, and he ends up just poking it into space on the right. Ola Kigbe back to Ripley. His right-footed ball doesn't have a lot on it, but Borland is able to bring it down. Try and play it forward. Hits the referee, so Swindon will get a drop ball there. Time is against them. 2-0 down to 2-2. The Garbutt free kick made it 3-2. Then the goal that Tafazoli scrambled in but was chalked off. Tafazoli has possession. Diagonal ball up towards halfway, or towards the edge of the Salford box. Not clear. Borland out to Ola Kigbe. Again, Salford conceding this sort of wide territory. Ola Kigbe in on the right foot to right. Right tries to come forward. Gets past a couple of challenges. Tabor lays it off to Ola Kigbe again. And he's just lost control of the ball under no pressure. And it's a throw into Salford.
Yeah, bad time for that to happen, because as you can see now, Salford, Andrew just slowing everything down, taking the time, trying to see out the time here. 2.5 minutes to go. It's Swindon just got to try and get all this ball as quick as they can and try and make something happen.
Salford wastes the long throw. I think I've seen Minoga do that twice now for Salford at different times, where he manages not to throw it in and still get another go at it, as Swindon did a few moments ago. Long from Minoga, flicked on by Salford. Borland's the last man back for Swindon. Ola Kigbe's pass is loose. That's just belted by Salford into the corner. It's out for a throw-in. There's 2 minutes left here. They must score, otherwise that. And it's a foul throw this time.
Yeah, I mean that it's just sloppy, isn't it? It just takes pressure right off that, because this throwing will waste 30 seconds now, Andrew. With the way Salford are just strolling, and so frustrating.
Controlling the game, they're on their way to a rematch with Manchester City that their fans may feel slightly ambivalent about. Although the 1,900 of them or so in here seem pretty cheerful at the moment. Tafazoli is fouled by Graydon, but that's inside the Swindon penalty area. Ripley takes his time. Has to grab the ball quickly, just clips it forward, and it's gone out of play from Ripley this time, who swats the ground, and this 4 minutes of stoppage time is just proving a mess. It's that lacklustre first half again that Swindon are going to suffer for. They cannot find consistent performances against this Salford team, who just seem to know how to lock them up and then show some quality in front of goal. Ball clears from 25 yards out. The throw in for Salford inside the Swindon half. It feels like we're going to get to full time without them having another meaningful moment here. Tafazoli has been left up front. Salford just launched the throw in towards goal. There's a scramble for it. Kilkenny able to poke this back to Ripley. He's got about 10 seconds, clears it forward. Cooper wins it. Cooper volleys it back. It'll go out of play for a goal kick. The 4 minutes are almost up. The eyes turn to the referee. The FA Cup for Swindon. It could have been Anfield last season. It could have been the Etihad this season. It's looking horribly close to being neither, as the referee blows his whistle and Swindon exit the FA Cup in painful fashion with a tie at one of football's biggest names at stake. They can't find their way past Salford again by the same so familiar score. Salford 3, Swindon 2 here. Swindon got it from 2-0 back to 2-2. They thought they'd equalise late on through Tafazoli, who's having a word with the officials about that disallowed goal now, but it doesn't make any difference. And ultimately, Jonathan, for all the good stuff they did in the second half, they didn't really seize the day over the 90 minutes of the time.
Yeah, they'll be really disappointed. I'm really disappointed for them. I think that second half performance was good. It was better. There was energy, there was passion, what you want from an FA Cup tie, tackles, intensity, what you expect, especially when you've got Man City, as the carrot for the next round. But that first half performance is, be really, really disappointed with that. Really disappointed, because everything I said about the second half performance was sadly missing in that first half. Just really lacklustre, really slow, sluggish, and it's cost them, it really has.
So Swindon now have to focus on Bromley and their league campaign, maybe the EFL trophy, maybe not, but I'll tell you where Swindon fans will be on Valentine's Day, Sean, at about 2 o'clock. It won't be in and around the bars of Manchester, it'll be Percy Throwers Garden Centre, Shrewsbury. Salford 3, Swindon 2.
And that is the comparison, and that is the moment gone for Manchester City, and it's Salford who go on to play the sort of greater Manchester derby of sorts. What do you think of what you've seen? What do you think of what you've heard? 08000 283366 to call, text 81333, WhatsApp 08000 321 Wiltshire at the start of your messages. Emails to stfc@bbc.co.uk, on social media at BBC Wilts Sports. So focus on the league. EFL trophy resolution soon, but out of the FA Cup, Salford 3, Swindon Town 2, again for the third time this season. Jonathan, man of the match, otherwise I might forget in our disappointment.
Yeah, I'm disappointed myself, but I think man of the match has to be Ola Keeper. 2 assists, kept going, showed a bit of intent, passion, put on a good show. Can be quite proud of his performance. So yeah, go on Michael Ola Keeper.
Midfielder, an assessment of Borland's contribution in the second half. He's the other loanee signed at the start of the window.
I mean, it was a tough night for Swindon's midfield. Salford made it difficult, but I think on the whole he's come on and played a decent second half. I think the second half was a decent performance from them all. It was what you'd expect. Proper cup tie the second half. First half is, a really disappointing one.
Could there be any kind of hangover into league form now?
There'll be disappointment, there will, when this kicks in on the drive home tonight. There'll be disappointing of what could have been. And like Andrew says, when it comes round and Salford get that day out, they'll feel it. They really will. Because I've been there. I've had this situation myself. I once got knocked out by Cambridge and the winner played Man United, and it still sort of bothers me a little bit to this day. It really does. Because like Andrew said, it's a once in a lifetime type thing for some of these boys in their career. But saying that, you get promotion, it'll all be forgotten about. There's no doubt about that, and that's what they've got to focus on. They have to focus on that. They have to drive themselves and push themselves to go for that ultimate goal, to get this club back to where it needs to be.
Well, we talked before kick-off about the fact that last season we didn't know that Accrington would go to Liverpool. This time we do know what we've missed out on.
Yeah, and it'll hurt. It hurts me a little bit, and I'm not the one playing. It's an opportunity as a player to pit yourself against the best, and that you don't get many chances at that. And Swindon players have unfortunately missed out on that tonight. And there'll be a lot of disappointment, a lot of down lads on that trip home. But we've got to shake it off and got to push for that promotion and go again. That's the only thing you can do.
Stay there for just a second. We'll talk more about the league campaign to come. Jonathan Smith with us on BBC Radio, which he was playing for the club the last time we got to the FA Cup fourth round, because we've lost 11 of the last 12 third round ties. 3-2 again at Salford tonight. 2,215 the attendance, 618 Hardy sold.